One needed to win, and to win the series, Illing to Kemp, and she eases it forward, takes the quick single to mid-on, and England are victorious. A 2-1 series win over New Zealand, and they've dominated them in this third and deciding match to win by 7 wickets. New Zealand all out for just 80, and England have knocked off their target in 13.5 overs. Yeah, that was a pretty one-sided game at Hove on Monday. New opposition now in the shape of an Indian team hoping they can become world champions in 2 formats when the T20 World Cup gets going. England will want to have a say about that, though. Their captain, Natsiva Brunt, is still injured, missing this series, but she has told us on BBC Sport today that she is starting to bat again, although not yet bowling. So Charlie Dean continues to lead the side. Harmanpreet Kaur for India is being rested from today's game as well. Smriti Mandana leads India, and both the captains have been out in the middle for the toss with Henry Moran.
Charlie Dean alongside me. You've won the toss, you've elected to have a bowl. Simple decision?
I guess having a bowl while the sun's out, hoping that a bit of cloud cover might do a little bit before chasing under lights where it might skid on a bit more and hopefully be a bit more batting favourable conditions.
Another milestone on the way towards the World Cup. How is the team? What sort of mentality do you take from that New Zealand series into this series?
Yeah, I guess it was really good to seal the series in the way that we did. We take a lot of confidence from that as a bowling unit. Mixing up the team a little bit. Danny White-Hodge comes back into the squad but doesn't make it in the 11 today. And Tilly comes in as a debut, and that's really exciting. I think all the girls are really behind her and excited to see how she goes, and that this is a fierce competition between India and ourselves. So I think it'll be a good challenge leading into that World Cup.
So what are the changes today?
Mai Boucher misses out, and Tilly Courtine-Coleman comes in, and Lindy Smith as well misses out, with Lauren Bell back in. So a few more bowlers, but we feel it's a well-balanced side.
And not long to go now. It's another step on the journey.
We're getting closer and closer, and every game we have feels one that we really want to get on top of and start to develop our ways of winning as a team. So it'll be a really good challenge today against a strong Indian side.
Enjoy tonight. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Thanks. Charlie Dean and Smriti Mandana is alongside me. Nice to see you. What would you have done if you'd won the toss?
Yeah, again, we're looking to bat first today. Good challenge on us batting first in these conditions, especially before the World Cup. So again, not a bad toss to lose.
This is a side that knows what it is to win in England. Do you enjoy playing here as a team?
Yeah, I feel all the girls have a good time when they're in England. They definitely play good cricket. Like with whatever last 2 tours we've had good tours. But again, I feel whenever we come back, we have to start fresh. So we can take the confidence, but nothing that we're going to think a lot about it.
And what about your team tonight? What can you tell us?
Nandini is making her debut, special player. She's had a good WPL, so really excited to see her. Again, Herman is rested, no concerns at all, but she's rested. And again, we're playing with 3 pacers and 2 spinners to start with.
Enjoy it. Many thanks, Smriti Mandana. As we have out here in the middle, the news that England have won the toss. They've elected to have a bowl first.
There we go, Henry Moran with the 2 captains, with a crowd expected as a sellout here at Chelmsford today. It's filling up nicely. The music, the atmosphere has been building. The drums that the Indian fans have brought in have just quieted down for a moment, but expect them to ramp up and add some atmosphere. Let me run you through the 2 teams then. I'll bring in our 2 World Cup winners in the commentary box in Alex Hartley and Ebony Rainford-Brent. So England with the eye-catching T20 international debut for Tilly Courtine-Coleman. They line up with Sophia Dunkley and Alice Capsey at the top. Amy Jones has been promoted up to 3 for tonight's match. Then Heather Knight, Freya Kemp and Danielle Gibson, the 2 all-rounders. Then Charlie Dean, Izzy Wong, Sophie Eccleston, Lauren Bell returns after being rested from the last game against New Zealand, and then Tilly Courtine-Coleman for a T20 international debut. For India, they line up with Shefali Verma alongside Smriti Mandana at the top, Yastika Bhatia, then Jamima Rodrigues at 4, Bharti Fulmani is in at 5, Risha Ghosh at 6, Deepti Sharma, then Arundhati Reddy, Sri Charani, Nandani Sharma and Kranti Goud makes up the India lineup. Ebony, Alex, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Looking forward to this one. And Alex, Tilly Courtine-Coleman then, let's come to you as the left-arm spinner.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to seeing from her tonight?
Look, she was brilliant in the ODI series when she made her debut against New Zealand. It looked like she'd been playing for a long time. You know, she was on her lines, on her length, spinning the ball. Didn't play the T20 series. I think this is a great opportunity. Throw her in against one of the world's best teams and see how she gets on. There's an argument you could have eased her into T20 international cricket playing against New Zealand, but I like the fact she didn't play that series and she's playing today, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how she goes.
18 years old, Ebbs. She was, 10 when Sophie Ecclestone made her debut, so now in the same team together. You've, of course, watched her a lot because she bowls for Surrey. Tell us what role you think she'll play tonight.
Yeah, look, I think it's so exciting, first of all, and there's a kind of a theme across both sides that they're bringing in younger players who maybe haven't got the depth of history, but what they're showing is talent, resilience, and able to step into the culture. So for me, again, she had that feel of, I heard you talking about Sophie Ecclestone the other day, but you know when sometimes you see a bowler and you think, that's a proper bowler immediately. High release, gets through the action, has control, and I felt that you could see throughout that New Zealand series that she was comfortable. So look, the one thing I will say, we saw in New Zealand, Sophie Devine comes at you. A lot of these Indians are going to be coming at her, and this is going to be a slightly different challenge. You know, you're going to have Mandana, the list goes on of the amount of players, Shivali Verma, etc. And of course, when Harmanpreet Kaur comes in back later. So it's going to be a real test for her because, one, she's going to have to deal with bowling into the left-handers and also taking it away, and that provides a slightly different challenge. So I think this is going to be a real evolution for her of a stacked team who are going to come at them in full force. Most probably 1 to 6 will all be aggressive compared to New Zealand where you say maybe Maddie Green, maybe Devine. I think she's going to have to deal with that. And we saw Ecclestone, who got hit for plenty in that over against 40 odd. And she's an experienced bowler. So Tilly Courtine-Coleman may have that against the New Zealanders and having to deal with left-hand, right-hand combos. I think that will be really interesting to see how she goes.
Sort of what these games are for, isn't it? Give a player a chance in a good atmosphere here. You know, all these matches, of course, all televised these days, good crowd in, but then she's a player who's featured in the 100, so actually it's not such a big step up as it used to be, even for an 18-year-old.
Oh no, this crowd will be way less than she's played in front of in the 100 before. So look, it's not, obviously you're playing for England, the nerves will be there and you'll be excited to get on, and obviously you'll be a little bit anxious, but she's played in front of bigger crowds, so I think the 100 has been a game changer for women's cricket in this country, not only getting fans to the grounds and watching the girls, but also when you do make your international debut. It shouldn't be the case, but the crowds are less.
How is she different for people who aren't so aware? She's replacing Lindsay Smith in the team tonight, another left-arm spinner nominally, but very different style of bowler.
Well, Lindsay Smith's an in-swing bowler.
I was going to say, she's not a spinner.
She goes down on paper as a slow left-arm spinner, doesn't she? But
for context,
she is a technical spinner.
Yeah, against New Zealand, so with all the bowlers, she was swinging the ball more than any of the seamers, was Lindsay Smith. So she's got this round arm action, she's got a low left arm, and she just swings the ball in towards the right hand.
Does she tweak it? Like from a left arm spin, does it look like she's trying to put revs on the ball or not really?
No, not in the power play.
It's just a shape.
Yeah, just shaping the ball in towards the right hander. Tilly Courtine-Coleman get up and over the ball. She's a little bit lower than Sophie Ecclestone, so she's a bit more in between the two, but she genuinely spins the ball as well.
And she does bowl in the power play overs, doesn't she?
Yeah, 100%. And that's where you're going to have to adapt your game, and you're going to have batters coming at you, and you're going to have to vary that length. So I think it's the best challenge. Young player coming in. I think if she gets up and over and gets a little bit shaped early on and a bit of bounce with that new ball, especially on this surface, it will definitely carry through. Then it'll be a good challenge.
A debut on both sides. There's an international debut for Nandini Sharma, who is 24 years of age, and she's impressed by doing what she does best in the WPL, which is taking wickets. Top of the charts, forces her way into the international side.
Yeah, look, I think there's a few things that are going for her. One, injuries. I know I got into England side with a few injuries. There's been a few to Amajot Kaur. The other is when she got into the WPL, within 2 games, she got 5-wicket haul, hat-trick, so names in lights. And then the third is her captain was Jameen Rodriguez, and I think for Delhi Capitals. And there's that kind of, sometimes when someone's talking you up and they're like, you know what, we backed her, we played her, we saw she responds, they become that person who champions you to say, look, we've had a few injuries, we trust her, she handled the big stage and she comes in. So for me, it's exciting. I haven't seen her play, myself, so I'm excited to see how she goes live. But I think that's what I call taking your opportunity.
Yeah, she has good variations by all accounts. I haven't seen anything of her in real life live.
I think that the thing for me is her ability to pick up wickets in and out of the power play. She's been really good at all aspects of the game, and like Eb said, somebody else misses out, you get your opportunity. But we're finally starting to see players in the WPL that perform getting selected. You know, she's not played any India A games, she's not been on India A tours, and she's gone straight into an India side just before a World Cup. So in World Cup selection, she hasn't played any international cricket. I think she was on the South Africa tour, but didn't quite make it as well. So look, I think, you know, we've seen it in the 100 in this country when you have a proper domestic competition. We saw it with the WBBL. And now we're seeing it with the WPL. You perform on those stages where ultimately I actually think the WPL not only is the best competition in the world, but there's the most pressure on it, apart from if you're playing a home World Cup. So look, these girls will know how to cope with that pressure as well.
I'll add one more thing as well, is that both teams have so much experience around. You can afford to bring in a young gun who may or may not find their way, and I think that's the sign of good sides, where they know they can soak up that pressure.
Yeah. Bharti Fulmani is 31 years of age. She's played just 5 T20 internationals so far in her career. So this is her first international. It's the 2 she played in 2019.
Ian Al can have a comeback. Hey, Ali, you've got time, mate. That's a big gap there.
I like her. I think she's great. Yeah. I think she's really good. RCB, I think she plays for in the WPL, is it?
I think Gujarat Giants.
It might have been RCB and they've gone to
Gujarat.
It's moved,
yeah.
I think she strikes at over 170 though, and that's, you know,
insane.
Yeah, a lower order hitter.
And that's what India do so well. Richa Ghosh comes in, one of the only players that can score, you know, hit a first ball for 6 and carry on with that. So India have brought in another player that can quite easily get 20 off and over and change a game.
A word on Nat Siva-Brunt, because we'll hear more from her during the interval of today's game, but seems to be making all the right noises about coming back targeting that first game. She's not yet bowling, Ebbs. I mean, it's only 2 weeks and 1 day from now.
It's a worry.
Yet.
I think, you know, you hear the first news that rest for a game, cool, you think no problem, be cautious. Then it stretches out a little bit, and then you start to look at the timeline. I think this is 10 days, 12 days, whatever.
She can't bowl in the World Cup, surely.
It's going to be tight. I think this is a concern. 2 things. One, the good news is Charlie Dean has stepped up. So from a leadership perspective, she's always had a bit about her. She's shown that she's had at least a little run that if Nat doesn't come back straight away. But I think more importantly, you need Nat Siva-Brunt's runs. I think maybe less so in the group stages, because they have got some friendly games, I would say, in their group build-up. But if she's not firing and had some game time by the end of that group stage, you'd be worried.
When it's said she's on track to play, that could be as a batter only if she's not yet bowling.
There's so many all-rounders in that team now. You obviously want her bowling. She might only be able to bowl 1 or 2 overs. That might be enough. But at the minute, I've not been around this team or don't really have many contacts in it anymore. But I can't see her playing full fitness in that first game.
Does Freya Kemp need to do a bit of bowling today? She didn't bowl in the last T20.
Yeah, she's been managing a stressy for a number of years, hasn't she? So I think it's such a quick turnaround. If she misses out today with the ball, I don't think it's much of a worry. She can bowl in the next one.
Well, the players are streaming out onto the field here. The flamethrowers are throwing flames high into the warm air around Chelmsford. And England are coming out then into a huddle wearing their bright red shirts with royal blue sleeves, navy trousers. The 2 umpires have made their way out to the middle. Black trousers, bright pink long-sleeved tops and black Panamas. Are they Panamas? Wide-brimmed hats. And now the 2 Indian openers then come. Shefali Verma and Smriti Mandana, 2 dynamic batters. Left-hand, right-hander. Shefali Verma, only 22 years of age still. I mean, she was the youngest, wasn't she, when she first played for India in a T20 when she was just 15.
Well, I'm going to say she's been around a while, because she was definitely playing when I was playing, and that seems like a long time ago.
But yeah, 2 aggressive batters, and so England are going to have a task to contain them during this power play. And again, what are your thoughts on the pitch, actually? Because from here it looks really quite green.
Yeah, I went down there and said, oh, it's green, and I was talking to a couple of the umpires who were both like, yep, it is green. I would have bowled first. It's a bit stormy out there as well, and I was asking if there's any weather around, and somebody said there might be a potential storm. So for me, it was a bowl first wicket, not only with how green it is, but with the weather that's around as well.
It's one of those evenings where you might say it feels a bit close.
Yeah.
You know?
My mum used to say that all the time when I was a kid. It used to wind me up. I'm like, close to what?
Close to raining, maybe? Close to a storm. But yeah, it's just a bit sort of that hazy, overcast sort of sky, warm and a bit sultry. I mean, it's sweaty weather. And the 2 ends, you might remember here at Chelmsford a couple of years ago, were renamed after Graham Gooch and Sir Alistair Cook. So the Hayes Close end, now the Graham Gooch end, which is where Lauren Bell has ball in hand. So was rested from the last game, but back in now. And of course can swing it both ways now after remodelling her action, working on that to just have that variation. She's got the outswinger that she'll be bowling here to the left-handed Smriti Mandana. 1 slip in place then. 3 inside the ring, 4 inside the ring on the offside, and 2 on the on. As Bell is right arm over, a Pishley and corner shot extra cover. First ball of the match. Well, a soft dismissal, but Mandana on the drive. Lauren Bell just has that beautiful shape, and there's a catch. And Mandana is out without scoring. First ball of the game.
Wow, wasn't expecting that. When I saw the ball out of Lauren Bell's hand, I was like, oh, okay, it's wide outside the off stump. It's there to be pumped through the covers. Mandana just pushing at the ball as the ball goes across it, and such a simple catch taken by Charlie Dean. There's a perfect start for England, and Mandana, who only been in the country 4 days along with the rest of her team, has had to trudge back.
Oh, delight for England. Dean and Bell, a huge embrace after that wicket.
It was just back of a length, angling across the left-hander, but it's her bread and butter, that, to slap that through the offside, and she was a little bit tentative, pushed at it, and Charlie Dean takes a very simple catch.
Well, what a start then. Yastika Bhatia comes out for India then, batting up at number 3. 25 years of age. She's had a long time out, hasn't she? And had ACL surgery in October 2025. So that was her last T20 international was in April 2024. So she's back in the squad. Played for India A last summer, and now looking to stake her claim, see what role she might well play in the World Cup itself. 19 T20 internationals for her so far. Facing Lauren Bell then, who's taken a wicket with the first ball of the match. Bowls fuller this time, side out down towards deep third for 4. But raced away with the field up, of course, in this power play period, the first 6 overs.
Yeah, very similar line, that one, but a little bit fuller from Lauren Bell. Not that hard length into the surface, just full outside the off stump. Bhatia obviously being a left-hander as well. Slaps that ball through backward point for 4.
Yeah, Sophia Dunkley, long chase back from backward point, back towards the boundary rope. Bell getting ready to come in again. There is a deep mid-wicket in place at the moment as Bell, tall, is in again. Fuller, clipped away through the vacant mid-wicket region now and brings in Freya Kemp from that deep mid-wicket position. And a single taken. So India 5 for 1. So Shafali Verma will face up for the first time, been down the other end. Seen her opening partner fall first ball of the match. But what a player she is when she gets going.
Yeah, she doesn't look like a kid anymore at the crease, does she? When she first came onto the scene, she almost looked young in herself. She's got taller, she's gotten fitter. She's quite an imposing character out there in the middle now.
Player of the match, of course, in the World Cup final against South Africa. After she was left out of the squad originally as well. I mean, what a story that was. Came in at the utter super sub. Bell in to the right-handed Verma. That one comes up, cuts in off the pitch, strikes her in the midriff, drops to the ground, and is left there for Heather Knight at slip to move forward to pick up. It feels as if she read that one off the pitch.
No, I just jagged back towards her, didn't it, that one? Lauren Bell looking to swing the ball away from the right-hander. Just nips back towards her. And Shafali Verma just getting stuck on the crease.
Taps her bat against the ground, awaits. Bell gives the ball a bit of a rub. Keep your hands nice and dry out there today. It's sweaty and slippery. Bell comes charging into Verma, and she's launched this one high over extra cover. It'll drop safe just beyond the ring, halfway back towards the boundary. 3 fielders converge, and it's Freya Kemp there at deep mid-wicket who moves across to her right to pick up. And that is the attacking nature of Shafali Verma. 7 for 1 in this opening over.
It's already got a completely different feel to when you play New Zealand, hasn't it?
Straight away wanting to get on the front foot and attack. It's picked up a comfortable 2 there, but she was aiming, I think, for the electronic scoreboard beyond the boundary.
So many dot balls when England played New Zealand throughout their T20 series.
5 inside the ring on that offside, 2 on the leg side. Deep backward square is back. Bell is in. Launch. This could be another chance. Head to the circle. Another catch taken. Diving forward. And, well, the 2 openers have gone now. Shafali Verma has gone. Alice Capsey taking the catch. And that's 2 wickets in the opening over for Lauren Bell and India. 7 for 2.
That was so soft from Shafali Verma. If you thought the first wicket was soft, have a look at this one. I don't really know what she's trying to do, to be honest with you. She steps outside leg, obviously looking to open up that front leg, and then she just goes down the ground but cramps herself up for room, so just pats the ball to Alice Capsey, who takes a good catch diving forward. Not a great dismissal.
No, both times looking for the drive and offering straightforward catches, really. So high fives for Lauren Bell, and 2 wickets in her opening over, but Shefali Verma goes for just 2 from 3 balls faced following the golden duck for Smriti Mandana. So India already in a rebuilding phase after this opening over. But Lauren Bell, just how have you seen her evolve? I mean, we talk about the in-swing, the outswing, but everything about her game seems to have really matured in the last 12 months.
I think it's the fact she had to learn from bowling in-swing to outswing on the international stage. It was quite a big talking point for such a long period of time, and it was a huge shift in her career. It could have ruined her. You know, she's grown up being an in-swing bowler, and she's then gone, right, no, I want to be better. I want to learn a way swing. And it took a while, don't get me wrong, but she's such a better bowler now than she was.
Izzy Wong to bowl from the Sir Alistair Cook end of the ground. Picked up 1 for 20 in the last game against New Zealand. He's rested, a bit of a precaution around a tight hamstring. Back in now, I'm running into the left-handed Yastika Bhatia. It's down the leg side, the poor delivery, and it's running away for wides all the way to the boundary. So 5. That's a poor start from Izzy Wong, just lost the radar completely.
But she's got a huge smile on her face because she's like, well, that ball moved a mile there through the air. And she's just signalling to Lauren Bell a little bit of swing down the leg side for 5 wide.
Well, it's that kind of atmosphere, actually, isn't it? It's when you talk about being conducive to swing bowling when it's close like this, but then it's how to control that swing when you're bowling with the pace. So switching here around the wicket, Wong in again, letting this go outside the off stump. Another wide signalled, pushing it too far that time. So Wong just needs to maybe take a breath. What would you do in this situation?
Oh, she's got a smile on her face. She's fine. She's fine. She's just seen one swing down the leg side. This one went away.
On the other way.
So she's shown all of her tricks there. The opening bat, well, not the opening batter. Yastika Bhatia.
Right, can just hone this one and find the right spot. Wong moves in around the wicket. Bhatia shuffles across and then glides it wide of Heather Knight for 4. Well, I don't know how much that was glided or thickish outside edge. 17 for 2 as she was pushing at it. But another boundary, so an expensive one in terms of the runs conceded so far. 17 for 2.
Yeah, just the 1 ball for Izzy Wong as well, and already gone for those 10 runs. I think she's got away with that one there, as the batter just pushing at the ball, thick outside edge, and it races away. If you're Izzy Wong, you don't want to be discouraged by that.
So 17 for 2. Smriti Mandana out for a first ball duck. Shefali Verma out for 2 as well. 2 soft dismissals, catches in the ring, and Wong from around the wicket, drilled along the ground this time, but Eccleston's there, tumbling stop at the edge of the circle, saves the single. It's good work. Did you see the interview Sophie Eccleston's given recently? Was talking about her struggles and how she's come through the other side, she believes, as a better, stronger person, someone who just hadn't really given any regard to mental health before, but actually spent time talking to a psychologist when she was struggling.
She's definitely playing with a smile on her face more now.
She's saying she's enjoying her cricket again. Wong in once again, slower ball down the leg side though, and beats Amy Jones for another 5 wides. Oh, Jones was diving full stretch to her right, and the ball bobbled, bounced in front of her, and then down to the sight screen. So suddenly 22 for 2 after it was 7 for 2 after the first over.
Charlie Dean just going up to Izzy Wong and just shaking her shoulder, saying, shake it off, shake it off. It's lovely, lovely shape. If there was a right-hander on a strike.
It's moving a mile, isn't it?
There's a left-hander on a strike, and then we've had 2 lots of 5 wides. I think Amy Jones probably could have stopped that second one there.
Wong in again, right arm over, and this one is glided past backward point for 4, and that's timed well by Bhatia. So an expensive over with the wides gets even more expensive here for Izzy Wong. And she's a more experienced bowler now. Hasn't been bowling a lot. Said rested because of that hamstring, but yeah, she does need to gain some control back here.
Yeah, I feel like she's the sort of character that can deal with this though. She's always got a smile on her face, so she never shows if she's rattled or not.
26 for 2 all of a sudden. Wong around the wicket, and that's drilled. Lovely looking drop. Eccleston can't stop it. 4 more. Well, 4 more down the ground. And Yastika Bhatia is now enjoying herself. That was fuller from Izzy Wong, but received the same punishment. So now from 7 for 2, we've gone 30 for 2.
She's just trying to get a little bit of control there, Izzy Wong, pushing the ball full. But it's too full, and Sophie Eccleston can't get it with a full-length dive. And this has been an expensive over for Izzy Wong, who's just having a chat to the skipper, Charlie Dean.
Well, you have to say it is a horrible over, isn't it, for your opening bowler. And Wong around the wicket. This is still just a 5th delivery off the hip towards short fine leg. A dot ball, a rare dot ball, and still 1 to come then from Wong. I mean, if you're Charlie Dean, what do you do? Are you going to give her another over to say put it right, or do you immediately have to say straight to the next?
Straight to the next ball out of the power play.
All the good work that Lauren Bell has done has unravelled over the space of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would be a 9-ball over as Wong is in again. It's a low full toss, glided beautifully for 4. Pass backward point. That ball is racing away with just the angle of the bat and using the pace. Bhatia on to 21. Wow, 27 runs off that Izzy Wong over. That is as awful a word it is to use. That's a horror show for an opening over in a T20 international.
It's a horror show even if you take out the 2 lots of 5 wides. The wide, there's 4 fours in that over. One which was streaky down to third man, a lovely drive back down the ground, another lovely drive through the covers, and then obviously the 2 5 wides. What a great start for Izzy Wong, who hopefully can go down the other end and just shake that off. Henry sent a stat.
Well, go on, give us a stat. Is this for longest overs or most?
The most expensive over in women's T20 international history yielded an incredible 52 runs.
Oh, wow. We'll come to that in a moment. Lauren Bell continuing, 2 wickets in her first over, back of her length, down the leg side though, and through to Jones, so another wide. So already the extras clocking up. Go on, what was this match?
It occurred in 2023 during Argentina's match against Chile, when Chile's debutant bowler conceded 35 runs off the bat alongside 17 no balls in a single over. 17 no balls.
That's a long over.
I'd like list A expensive overs.
Bell picking her knees up as she bowls again outside the off stump this time, and a drive and a miss from Rodrigues, who's facing up for the first time in this over.
Sorry, not list A, but full nation. Do you
sort
know
of
how
test playing nation.
Yeah, test playing nation.
Women's teams.
Yeah. So do you know how now in the men's, because there's so many teams, you've got to do test playing nation stats. There's separate to the ones that get ruined.
Well, I was looking earlier actually about when Sophie Eccleston comes on to bowl later. She is looking to reach the 150 mark for T20 international wickets. She's 7 away at the moment as Bell is into Rodrigues outside the off stump, pushing at it out to the covers, doesn't time it, picked up by Dunkley, and there's no run. And she would be the 3rd
rookie error, that Ali Mitchell. That is.
Hello, Mum. That's a finable offence.
I'm on the radio. That is a finable offence. That's a £5 in the World Cup pot, I reckon.
Eccleston could be. we'll gloss over that. Could be the 4th woman to 150 T20 international wickets.
Sal's just giving you a yellow card in the background, by the way.
I'll be subbed out in a minute. It's the equivalent of a 27 run over, isn't it? Walking out of a crease this time to meet this one full on. Little chip over short mid wicket for 4. Very clever play by Rodrigues, who's just taken that on and just used her wrists.
Wasn't far away from that mid wicket though, was it? And she comes down the pitch, meets it on the full, slaps it through that mid wicket. Lauren Bell got a smile on her face, and rightly so. Yes, it was a full toss, but very, very nearly into Charlie Dean.
But Rodrigues is off the mark. She's batting outside of her crease to Lauren Bell, who's trying to negate that swing anyway, and just a little step forward to take that ball on and meet it as a low full toss. Bell coming in again after the wide. This will be the 4th of the over. Fuller, quick single being taken here to Dean at mid-wicket, and they get through. Oh, ouch. Now that ball's come into Jones, and it's struck Yastika Bhatia on the helmet. They haven't attempted another run. It's run away down towards the boundary, where the ball's now been retrieved by the debutante, Tilly Courtine Coleman. And I think because the ball struck her on the helmet, they will probably have to have a look at this, won't they?
Yeah, they'll have to have a concussion check. But Charlie Dean's gone straight over and said, sorry, she's absolutely fine. She said, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. It happens. That's what your helmet's for.
Accurate looking throw.
It could have gone down before.
It really could have, couldn't it? It could have been World Cup 2019 vibes. That was off the blade of the bat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So going back to the point you asked me about Eccleston.
Sorry, my phone's ringing. One second.
When looking at who the other three
Yes.
are to have taken 150 T20 wickets, top of the tree is Deepti Sharma. She's got 160. Who else might you think of?
It's Nida Dar, isn't it?
Megan Shute is up
Megan
there
Shute.
with 152, but there is a player in between the two of them. And that player, which is why it made me think of it because of your Argentina-Chile match?
Yeah.
So this is Henrietta Ishmwe, I think the surname is, of Rwanda,
Okay.
who has 155 T20
Wow.
international wickets, 25 years of age.
25 years of age.
Yeah.
Wow.
Played a lot of T20s already, but wiping the floor with the opposition. So yeah, there's almost sort of two leagues, isn't
Yeah.
there? And the stats are all intermingled together. And maybe you look at, do you look at World Cup wickets
Teams.
as your benchmark? Or I don't know. It's difficult though, isn't it?
Because this team's always in and out, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, we do like the egalitarian nature, though, of all the teams that are playing T20 cricket now, though, which is brilliant, and a clear pathway from the very start. All those qualifiers around the world, clear pathway up to the top tier. Bell in again, is ready to go. Oh, streaky inside edge. That could have knocked back onto Bhatia's stumps. Instead, it's running away down to fine leg for 4. So close to Lauren Bell.
I guess lucky there, does Bhatia. Just looking to drive the ball, thick inside edge. And Tilly Courtine Coleman. Oh no, it's Freya Kemp, at fine leg. Nowhere to be seen, she's so wide. You see those chopped on all the time, don't you? And gets away with that one. And there's been a lot of talk, Ali, on England under pressure and how they cope under pressure, and do they go to their plan Bs and Cs quick enough, or do they hold plan A for long enough, and vice versa? This is what they need leading into a World Cup. They need pressure like this. The partnership 37 of 11.
Yeah, Bell in again, playing a miss through to the keeper on the drive with Bhatia to a fuller delivery from Bell for the end of the over. So the partnership 37 from 12, Bhatia 25 from 10, Rodrigues, the minor of the partnership at the moment, 5 from 4, but 10 conceded from that Lauren Bell over. So 44 for 2 after just 3 overs, 41 for 2, having had that immense start, 7 for 2 after the first over. And we're going to get an early look now at Tilly Courtine Coleman. So unsurprisingly, Izzy Wong is staying in the field. Where's she there? Mid-on, I think. Sorry, short fine leg it will be. And Tilly Courtine Coleman will come on to bowl.
Yeah,
and what a time, given what's just happened in the previous over.
Yeah, huge ask for her, because normally you'd look at Sophie Eccleston and go, right, okay, down to the experience, Eccleston, we all know what she's capable of and what she does and how she bowls. She actually, since Lindsay Smith has come into the team, doesn't bowl as much in the power play anymore. Lindsay Smith obviously not in the team today, so Tilly Courtine Coleman taking the power play overs. I'm interested to see how she goes here.
18 years of age, a T20 international debut, 4 in the ring on the offside. Left arm spin gives it plenty of loop. It's a high full toss and it's bunted away aerially, one bounce into the hands of the fielder. It's just the single, and she leans down at the crease and wipes her hands on the floor. Probably be forgiven for a little bit of extra sweatiness out there today, but whirls her arms and just has a look of concentration about her and determination. A bit of a furrowed brow, and she's already in conversation with Charlie Dean about the field that she wants, which is of course always great to see for a debutante and an 18-year-old.
This is what I was really impressed with when she made her debut. In the ODI format, she was so in control of her own fields.
So she's got a short fine leg now to the left-hander, works it back past the bowler, but there's protection there at mid-off. So a dot ball, warm applause from the crowd. So there's a short third on the edge of the circle, backward point, cover, extra cover, and mid-off, over the wicket again, driving down towards long on. There is protection here. Eccleston moves in off the boundary. They're able to take 1, so immediately, though, we're seeing an element of control, which is great to see from the youngster.
Yeah, if she doesn't concede a boundary in the power play, it's a win. But even if she does, it's how do you just say, did I execute what I was wanting to do? Was it a good ball or a bad ball? And then reflecting from that.
Around the wicket here to the right-hander. It's a low full toss again. Maybe just struggling around the wicket at the moment. But fielded by Gibson. Single taken. Yeah, it's not quite landing it when she's bowling to the right-handed Rodrigues.
Yeah, it's one thing we didn't see her struggle with was that control and the longer format of the game. But playing India, T20 game leading into a World Cup, I hate to say it, but there is just so many more eyes on it. There is just more pressure. She'll want to be in that World Cup starting 11.
Bhatia on strike, 26 off 12. Courtine Coleman in, on the leg side, swept away firmly. This should go for 4 as well. Picked out the gap beautifully there between short fine leg and square leg. And there is the boundary conceded. The 50 is up for India as well inside this 4th over now. 51 for 2 with 1 more ball to come in the over.
Yeah, just that sweep shot there from Bhatia. Not a great delivery from Courtine Coleman. Just angling the ball down the leg side, and Heather Knight at short fine. Nothing she can do there.
Courtine Coleman, slightly flatter delivery here, drilled along the ground, but only to mid-off. And Bell is there to field. So finishes with a dot ball. So 1 boundary, 3 singles for your opening over in a T20 international. I think she'll be pretty pleased with that given what's gone on before.
Yeah, in the context, you absolutely take it. Conceding the 1 boundary, a couple of dot balls in there as well. If you could go throughout your whole T20 career on the point of 7 and over, you'd be a blinking good bowler.
51 for 2. So Bhatia 30 off 14. Rodrigues 7 off 6. Got to say very quickly, congratulations on your appointments.
Thank you very much.
We now have to call you VP.
You do have to call me Vice President Hartley. I actually think it was rude none of you bowed to me when I walked in the commentary box today.
Voted in as a Vice President of Lancashire County Cricket Club.
Yeah, a huge honour actually, and a little bit of a surprise. I obviously found out about it a while ago, but it got put to vote over the...
Oh, was that nerve-wracking, being voted on?
88% of the votes, Ali, don't you worry about me. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, and I got a message in the morning saying, are you coming down today to watch the game? And I thought, why would I come down and watch the game? It's because the election was the other day. But yeah, huge honour, a huge honour.
Well
I'm thinking the first thing I do is, I don't know, give myself an end or something, maybe another
floodlight.
floodlight.
Are you allowed to do that? Another floodlight, why not? Sophie Eccleston for the first time then, bowling at the opposite end to Courtine Coleman. Control, it's driven beautifully for 4, finding the gap in the offside with the field up on that side of the ground. Quick outfield, and Rodrigues, just whips those wrists through for the drive.
Eccleston having a little chat here with Charlie Dean. Are they going to have a little change in field? They are. They're going to get rid of that mid-wicket and they're going to pack that offside a little bit more. But to be honest, it's a great shot from Rodrigues. She opens up that front foot and is looking to manipulate the ball through the covers. Wasn't a bad ball from Eccleston.
Around the wicket, Eccleston with her sunglasses on, almost looking to do the same, but can't, and it's patted back up the pitch to the bowler. She's such a wristy player, isn't she, with her follow through, the bat that comes right the way over the right shoulder when she plays at a full-blooded drive. Gets power behind it. 11 off 8 for Rodrigues. 55 for 2 in the power play. Looks to sweep Eccleston this time. At bottom edges into the ground. Scampers through for 1. Throw comes into Eccleston's end, and it's well backed up as well. Heather Knight was there to make sure it didn't go for any overthrows. So 55 for 2. Bhatia back on strike. Lauren Bell took 2 wickets in her first over. India was 7 for 2 at that stage. Smriti Mandana out first ball of the match, caught by Charlie Dean. Short extra cover. And then Shafali Verma out for just 2. Another soft dismissal, offering a catch to Capsey, who took it diving forward. Oh, Bhatia goes huge. A lofted shot high over long on for 6. A big swing of the bat right in her arc, and she's taken on Sophie Eccleston to good effect.
It's a great shot, using her feet, getting to the pitch of the ball and hitting it down the ground. Long on and long off, up inside the fielding circle to the left-hander. And not forgetting, these two have played a lot of cricket against each other in the WPL.
Eccleston in again, looking to sweep this time. Aerial sweep it is. Behind square, can it be stopped? No! Well, evades Sophia Dunkley on the boundary, and so the runs flowing off this Eccleston over. 2 boundaries, the 6 as well. Bharti's on to 40 from just 16 balls now.
And it's so funny watching players and how they develop and choosing ends to attack from. Never in a million years would you think you'd just have a look at Tilly Courtine Coleman and you'd attack Sophie Eccleston.
Yeah.
But it's just the way players have developed over the last 4 or 5 years.
Eccleston looks to take a bit of pace off and driven slowly up towards mid-off to end the over with a dot ball, but a punishing over nonetheless. 66 for 2, still one over to come in the power play. What a partnership this has been. Bhatia has been leading it, 40 from 17. Rodrigues, 12 from 9. So, are we going to have a little bit more Courtine Coleman, or are we going to revert back?
Charlie Dean.
Charlie Dean, a little bit more spin. Alex Hartley, I'm going to leave you. Henry Moran is coming in.
Yeah, and just to finish that point on Eccleston, you know, I think the amount of cricket she's played, players have got used to facing her. They'll know that with the extra pace that she has on the ball, I mean, I think players know what she's going to do, where she's going to attack. She's going to attack the stumps. And then somebody like Tilly Courtine Coleman just coming onto the scene, new to the scene, you almost have like a little bit of a grace period when you come into international cricket. Players trying to get used to you.
Yep. Well, England can't handle India at the moment with a score at 66 for 2, and Charlie Dean begins her approach. I wonder if there's a little bit of kidology there, going back to Lords a couple of years ago where she was run out at the non-strikers end, pulls out of her approach.
Do you think she'll ever be able to play without that being mentioned?
No, not against India she won't. And she does it. Well, no, this time it's Rodrigues.
Fight.
Well, bearing in mind we've had players out there now for 25 minutes. We've only had 5 overs.
I'm chasing leather, Henry.
Yeah, I know. Dean does bowl this time. It's driven back towards her. Brilliant fielding.
Well, I'll tell you what. Some players you want to mess around with and step outside the off stump and pull away. Charlie Dean, for me, isn't one of them because she's such a feisty player.
She's gritty.
Yeah.
Here's Dean again. And back towards her, just about dropping short. One thing that you said earlier on, Al, which I think was really true, is it just feels different, this, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so different.
The intensity of playing against India. And also, I think India, having won that World Cup, that 50-over World Cup, they feel a different side.
But there's just not been as many dot balls.
Here's Charlie Dean again, bangs it in short, and it's not a good ball that, it's a half tracker, and it's helped on its way, oh so happily, by Jemima Rodrigues. And she moves on to 16, and India absolutely flying here, 70 for 2.
There's not been as many dot balls. You know, the players, I'm sorry, but they are better. They take the game on more. That first over, even though there was 2 wickets, just looked different from both sides. And they are one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still in the power play. Worked away off the pads, and there won't be a run there because a rather furious throw from Tilly Courtine Coleman at short fine leg.
Still in the power play. New Zealand got this score the other day.
Yeah.
In 20 overs.
Well, indeed. Which can happen, but I know what you're saying.
Not in 20 overs. Teams can be bowled out for 70.
Yes.
Do you know what? There wasn't any impetus.
It's been top-edged. Could be a chance now. I think it's just going to be out of the reach of Courtine Coleman. And might even go down to the boundary. No, she does well to recover, the 18-year-old. It was just one of those that was always drifting away from the hands. It wasn't far away, but it wasn't quite close enough for her to take the catch.
Yeah, you could just tell off the bat with the slog sweep, just thick top edge, and goes towards Tilly Courtine Coleman. One of those always flinging away from it. I think she could have done a better effort.
Dean bowls and deep in the crease, and defending is Rodrigues, but past the bowler, so she'll get 1, 7 off the over. And the power play concludes with India at 73 for 2, having been 7 for 2. And Smriti Mandana fell first ball, Shafali Verma out for just 2. But Yastika Bhatia is really taking it to England. And how about this as a little stat? I was intrigued to see when the quickest women's T20 international 50 was, and what it was.
Yes.
And just as a bit of an indication as to how quickly the game is marching forward.
I reckon it wasn't that long ago, was it?
It was Fatima Sana.
2 days ago?
About 12 days ago.
Yeah.
13 days ago.
Was it 12 balls?
It was, no, slightly more than that.
15.
Not much more. 15 balls.
15 balls,
Yeah.
Against Zimbabwe.
It was against Zimbabwe.
I'm such a
And then
badger.
Rikshi Ghosh has got an 18 baller. Nida Dara 20 ball. You know, this day and age, it is very much par for the course to see teams going big and really putting pressure on bowlers and bowling units that otherwise would previously have perhaps got away with things a little bit more. Here comes Danny Gibson, England's all-rounder. And a lovely little ramp over the shoulder, down towards fine leg. It's going to go scuttling away towards the boundary, but it will be retrieved by Izzy Wong, who I imagine has had rather a tough few minutes thinking about that 27 run over.
Yeah, it was. She bowled so nicely the other day as well, didn't she? Opening the bowling down the hill at Hove.
Well, the thing about Izzy Wong is she will bowl unplayable deliveries.
Oh, yeah.
But she will also have days where it doesn't quite go right. It's quite warm in here, just taking off my jacket.
Yeah, I'm glad. When I looked, for you playing with your zipper.
Well, I am, but the zipper of my jacket.
Yeah.
Crucially.
That's why I looked at you really strangely. What were you doing?
Here is Danny Gibson again. Full delivery, which is smacked out down to Dunkley, who fumbles. And England are looking a little ragged, the pressure perhaps telling. And it's almost a sort of game where already you can hear the journalists over in that press box to our right putting down the words, "Wake up call for England ahead of World." Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's a wake-up call. I think this is exactly what you need. Just like when they lost to New Zealand when 2 players got in.
Full delivery, driven again out towards Dunkley, who'll run round and this time collect cleanly as the shadows lengthen in Chelmsford under light cloud.
When New Zealand were 11 for 4, and then there was that partnership of 150 between Devine and Maddie Green. You want that. You don't want England to walk every warm-up game leading into a World Cup. If England lose today, it's not. I really don't think it's a bad thing leading into a World Cup.
Yeah, so they lose 3-0.
Yeah, but if they lose 3-0 and they don't learn lessons, then it's a different story.
Gibson bowls, it's defended back towards her, and she moves athletically to her left to stop it. Bhatia remains on 40, but only off 19 balls, 78 for 2 still.
I know I keep going on about the previous series because it was only 2 days ago. They learnt lessons from that 11 for 4 and losing the game. They took quick wickets in the third T20 and kept taking quick wickets, kept the pressure on.
Gibson bowling, and it's driven towards Eccleston at mid-on. Hit pretty firmly as well, so good over this so far from Gibson. 2 dot balls so far in the second half of it. Can she close it out with another dot?
So those lessons were learnt. So whatever happens in this game, England could still win. They can still claw it back. They can still have somebody go on. And Sophia Dunkley loves batting here. You know, you could get somebody to get some big runs. Alice Capps is in a lovely little bit of form.
Knows this ground as well.
Yeah, whatever happens today, I really don't think one way or the other it's a bad thing.
Gibson bowling and chipped, plinked up towards Eccleston, who's retreated towards the boundary at long on at the Graham Gooch end of the ground, and that is a decent over. Gibson has bowled 1 and gone for just 6 runs. India recovering from 7 for 2 to 79 for 2 after 7 overs. You're having a breakout.
Am I? Yes.
Yeah, behind those very fancy sunglasses.
They're not fancy, these ones.
Oh, are they not?
No.
Oh, are they not quite legit?
No, they're real, but they're not, you know,
they're not a brand.
They're not my designer that I would normally go for.
Oh, right. I just wouldn't know if it was a real brand or not. I mean,
it's a real brand, yeah.
Okay. Right then, Ebony Rainford. Brent is alongside me as well. World Cup winner, part of the England squad's successful title victory in 2009 on these shores.
Yeah, it's a while ago. So I was just consumed by Alex's sunnies because I saw that she was wearing those other stylish Charles Dagnall numbers the other day, the orange screens, and they've been binned off because they didn't suit her. So
no, they've gone. When you said you were consumed by them, they are quite large. I felt like it might go climbing over the desk and attack me.
Anyway, back to cricket. Sorry, yeah. I mean, that was a long time ago. I guess the thing that is most interesting for us this summer is England, as we all know, never lost a home World Cup. And we're just in that build-up now. Can they keep it going and add to the Lionesses, add to the Red Roses, keep that wave of women's sport going?
Yeah.
And I think, like Alex said, this is the key thing. The one thing I would say, I heard Lottie say what they've been trying to work on is being able to chase the big scores, the 180. Yeah. So they had that with New Zealand and they struggled after that big partnership. It could be on track for something similar today. That's what they need. This is what they need.
You're happy to see a bit of a turn.
Yeah, and if they have to adjust over the 3 T20s.
Charlie Dean round the wicket with her off spin, and that's smacked back over her head. It's a lovely looking shot, and there's work to do for the fielder. Sophie Eccleston it is, who does very well moving to her left from long on. And scampering around the boundary below us. As a single is taken, 80 for 2.
Yeah, there's 180, 200 scores, which are now, as you can see with the ball striking coming from India, very possible on good surfaces.
Well,
that's where they need to be, in that range.
Yeah, well, India in the last 12 months have won T20 series in England and Australia. You know, this is a serious team. Swept in front of square, out towards the deep where Gibson will field in her normal position at deep middle wicket, out in front of the pavilion and the dugouts, where it was a rather quiet scene when Mandana was out first ball and Verma was out for just 2. But since then, jubilation for India, whose team bus, I had to wait for them in the car park. They wouldn't let me through.
Oh, really? Were you on watch?
Forward comes Bhatia. That's a good parry from the bowler, diving to her right to stop it.
On the list of...
No, I was out of my car by that point.
Okay.
I just wanted to walk around the ground.
Oh, they weren't having it?
No, very, very careful about security, making sure, as they should be.
Yeah.
Here comes Charlie Dean. Bowling and driven towards Lauren Bell, and there was just a moment where there was a bit of pressure on Jemima Rodrigues to get back in her ground. But you realise that with the amount of fans that were around, that these India players are superstars. And there was an enormous upsurge in ticket sales the day after India won the 50 over World Cup. I mean, there is going to be real home support for India in this tournament. Bhatia on 42 in the air, but dropping short of Gibson at cover.
Smart bowling just here quickly by Dean. She's dragged the length back. She's seen Bhatia come down twice with that bat in the air like she wants to charge. She's just adjusted her length. But you're right. I mean, India are just another cricket, a religion. It's and the support here in England. The Test match is selling very well, from what I understand as well. So it just brings the superstars to town.
81 for 2, final ball of the over, just 2 from it so far, and it'll remain at that because Courtine Coleman fields at short third. That's nice work from Charlie Dean, the England skipper, standing up and interviewing her before the game today. She's got a steely look in her eyes. She's quite a gritty competitor, and I think England have missed that for a while. I think actually, Heather Knight had it, certainly, but I think the number of players where you get that look in the eye of, I'm not here to mess about. And I think that's a really encouraging sign for England, having that slightly wider leadership group.
Look, let's face it, they'd struggled, to really replace that Heather Knight role. Natsiva Brunt, of course, but there weren't many natural leaders. And one name that had kept popping up, even though she was maybe a little bit young, was Charlie Dean. She had that experience of London Spirit. But you're right, people talk so highly of that, exactly what you just talked about, that essence of being able to have that steeliness, calm under pressure, respected by the players. And so
here comes Sophie Eccleston, standing in front of umpire Ian Blackwell and moving in round the wicket now to Bolter Rodrigues, who's playing a lovely reverse field. Oh, that is hopeless fielding. Lauren Bell, it's not so much Sydney Harbour Bridge as a sort of Massimo Taibbi of those of footballing vintage, the old Manchester United goalkeeper, where he dived over and it looked like he'd laid an egg.
Well, I didn't know who it was, but you kind of described it very well. First of all, really nice play there from Rodrigues. Got her hands out really far.
It's gone through her leg.
Got the pace on it, but she was nowhere near it.
4 runs. Swept again, and this will be probably just a single out towards backward square leg and Izzy Wong. But this is what I mean. England have not been perfect in the field. And Sophie Eccleston, whose economy so far is 15 from first 1.2 overs that she's bowled. And I think that this is it's going to be an imposing total, we know that much. 86 for 2 in the 9th. Eccleston again to bowl to the left-handed Bhatia, who hits the ball down the ground and trots on through for 1 more. She moves to 43 off just 26.
Yeah, so a couple of things there. To finish your point about Charlie Dean, it's good to see that you feel, I think it's important that person demonstrates presence, a certain type of presence, and you felt it.
Yeah.
The teammates feel it, and she's having to step up.
Smacked away by Rodrigues. What a shot that is. Out towards the dugouts to our right. It was lofted over cover. It was tossed a little bit wide, but Rodrigues, for a player who is not of the vastest stature, doesn't half get some power behind that.
She's got such quick hand speed. It was just given that width, and she's just got such a big stride into the ball and then throws everything at it. What a shot.
Eccleston again. And this is just eased, plinked into the leg side, pushing hard for one, and it will just be the single. So it has been a pretty brutal start so far for England. Well, the start was good.
The 27 didn't help.
Yeah.
With one over.
This is a low full toss, and Eccleston, who has been more comfortable against the left-handers in T20 cricket over the last couple of years, will see a dot ball at the end of the over. 92 for 2 after 9 overs. Ebony Rainford-Brent alongside me, Henry Moran, ahead of the start of the World Cup on June the 12th, where England will be taking on Sri Lanka at Edgbaston. You can hear every ball of every game on BBC Sounds and the best of the action on the BBC Sport website and app. And we've got the rest of this series as well. We've got obviously tonight's game. Then it's a little tour of the West Country. Bristol on Saturday afternoon at 2:30, and then Taunton on Tuesday, a 6:30 start at the county ground in Taunton, a venue where run scoring tends to be fairly lively. So it could be quite a few days. Izzy Wong, 27 from her first over, is getting another go from the Alistair Cook end below us. She bangs it in short, and this is pummeled back down the ground towards Eccleston, but only for a single from Rodrigues. Cross-batted heave.
Well, a better time to come back, isn't it? You've got your field spread. You can afford to just kind of, as long as you get tight enough lines to the stumps, reasonable length, you can make sure that they're hitting it into the fielders rather than the power play where you're a little bit off your line and there's just so much room. So can she settle in against this left-hand, right-hand combination?
Round the wicket to Yastika Bhatia. Now that's a better line, and it's well stopped by Dunkley at point. And that's a single and a dot. Much better over this than Wong. And Charlotte Edwards will be keenly watching this, because this is going to tell her an awful lot. She's a player she knows well from Mumbai Indians and one thing and another, but this will tell her quite a lot about the mentality of Izzy Wong. And that, again, that toughness of character, because that won't have been easy, that 27 run over. Here's Wong once again. It's been lofted in the air, down the ground. Good looking shot. How far's it gone? One bouncing full. It's a really nice looking shot from Yastika Bhatia, who moves to 47. Little bit of a slice perhaps, but the power was sufficient. Cleared the infield, and it's 4 more. 97 for 2.
This is where cricket's tough, because I wouldn't say that's a bad length at all, but what Yastika Bhatia has done is come down the crease, changed the length, and even with slight pace off, it just waited. That's a lot of batting skill. Even if you've bowled a good ball, these batters can hit you.
Wong bounds in again, fuller this time, and clipped off the toes, down the ground towards Eccleston, who slings it in. And England with a field spread, but Izzy Wong is there. She's marshalling her field, saying exactly where she wants things, and again, it's these little indications that somebody is actually, you know, mature enough to take a bad over and build from it. And I think that's the struggle I would have, Ebbs, if I got hit for 27 and over.
Off?
No, I'd just say, well, I'm not sure this sport's for me. In comes Wong. It's whipped away out towards the leg side, and will be 1 run to Danny Gibson at deep mid-wicket. But look, batters get first ballers, Smriti Mandana at the end. And that's what makes them elite compared to somebody like me, is the fact that you do have that mentality and that resilience, and that's why you make it to the top. And all credit to Izzy Wong. You'd expect nothing less from an England international. She's in the sunshine below us with interesting field here, with mid-off and extra cover quite close to one another. And it goes other sort of part of the ground, actually, out towards quite a wide long on, and running around to pick up is Alice Capsey from deep mid-wicket. And with that, Yastika Bhatia reaches a 31 ball 50. It's been an excellent innings, much of the hard work done early on with that expensive over, and the 100 comes up as well for India. Lots of support for the travelling side from spectators that have loved most of what they've seen so far. It's first international T20 50 for Yastika Bhatia, who's played quite magnificently, and as the players take a drink in the warmth there will be a degree to England feeling a little relieved to have a chance to catch their breath. So 101 for 2. Alison Mitchell is going to join you, Ebony Rainford-Brent.
Thanks, Henry. Yeah, just finishing up on how good Jastika Bhatia has been. I think it's one thing to come to another country only a few days in and try and find some rhythm, but she's really found her timing. She's played intelligently with the attacking shots she's played. She's chosen her boundaries really intelligently and been thoughtful, and it's not easy to start a tour and just come out and find that rhythm and flow. So good to see she has done that. For England, I think we're seeing mixed, really. We knew they had a long winter of not a huge amount of competitive cricket. I think we've seen mixed parts. We've seen fielding, I felt, in some of the ODIs was a little bit shaky even today. A few errors here and there. Izzy Wong, exactly. There's been issues, but there's also been some really good stuff. So it just feels like that time where they're trying to find that rhythm. And it, like Alex has said earlier, it doesn't matter if they have a few mistakes now, as long as they're building over the next few games. So we're going to be watching keenly, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't mind if they make mistakes now, as long as we see improvements all the way through. And this is a real test.
Yep, it's quite a step, isn't it? Albeit New Zealand, the T20, the reigning T20 champions, and India coming in off the back of a 4-1 series defeat in South Africa. I mean, that was a notable defeat to them, wasn't it? Having come to England last time round, they won in the T20 series here. They've gone on to be 50-over World Cup champions, but then they just unravelled against South Africa in that series. But yeah, England have this match 2 more, just to mark everybody's card. Bristol on Saturday, that's in the afternoon, a 2:30 start. And then in Taunton, Tuesday, the 2nd of June, an evening game. So those 3 matches, and then 2 official ICC World Cup warm-up matches against India again and Australia. So those, I mean, it's a good run of games now, isn't it, before then that first match against Sri Lanka?
Yeah, massively. And the other thing about that, you talked about the loss to, 4-1 loss. I feel like India's a big match team. So let's face it, in South Africa, there wasn't huge, it wasn't the huge crowds. And whereas the WPL, the 50-over final coming into England, I feel like they're the sort of side that kind of just rises with that extra noise, extra pressure, extra flair. And so they will be obviously wanting to use all these opportunities and those run of warm-up games into that T20 World Cup. So, yeah, perfect.
Well, about to resume. 101 for 2 then at the halfway stage of this innings. England have 3 times conceded more than 200 in a T20 international. Come to that more in a moment. Gibson continuing here, battered back past the bowler, into the ground and then fielded at mid-off. And it's a dot ball, but Rodrigues really trying to put some bottom hand into that. She's 37 off 25. Jastika Bhatia, 50 off 31. This is her best T20 international score. Her previous best was only 36. Said she's playing her first match since April 2024. Played a bit for India A in August last year. So this is her first T20 international for a couple of years. Gibson in, scythed away, behind point for 4. That's absolutely flown. No stopping that. Sophia Dunkley at backward point just had to watch that ball whistle past her at some distance.
You can't bowl that width. You just really can't bowl that width. It's pretty simple as that. Someone like Jemima Rodrigues, she likes getting on that front foot, so she's not gone back and hit it to where Dunkley is. She's taken it a fraction early into that gap, moved across the crease to change the angle. Got to keep it tighter.
Gibson in again, steps out of her crease, takes it on the full, batters it away into the leg side this time. Off the face of the bat into the ground, then it bounces and fielded in the inside the boundary rope, taken on the bounce by Gibson as the throw comes back in. So Rodrigues on to 42, just the single. Bhatia on strike, 106 for 2 in this 11th over. The partnership is 1 away from the 100 mark as well, 99 off just 57 balls. The highest total England have ever conceded in a T20 international was on this ground. Ebony, you'll remember that match against Australia. It was what broke the idea of Fortress Chelmsford. Gibson in, Bhatia driving it down the ground. There's protection at long on though, and a single is taken. And comes a very loopy throw back to Amy Jones at the striker's end. Australia piled up 226 for 3.
Would that be Lanning?
That was a Lanning day.
That was a Lanning day. That got Lanning.
2019 that was. The 100 partnership is up though between these two. For India, 100 off 58 balls, coming together with India 7 for 2 at the end of that first Lauren Bell over. Then it began to unravel. Gibson, here's a full toss, hit in the air though, over the head of Bell now, who's there at mid-on, and it runs for 4 more. The runs are flowing. The Indian flags are waving again in the stands. But Gibson not quite getting things right this over.
Yeah, I think what's throwing Gibson is actually the amount of movement that the Indian players are doing. It's one thing you've got plan A, where am I going to land it on the pitch? And then all of a sudden the batter's moving around before you've let go of the ball. And we're seeing some low full tosses, missed lengths, and I think it's because of the movement. And that's where you've really got to keep that mind focused. If they move, you've got to either react and throw it straighter or, and so she's just losing her length here.
Long on back on the fence, 2 deep mid wickets as well. Gibson in, takes some pace off and a bit of inside edge into the leg side. Gibson doing her own chasing here as Rodrigues goes through for the single to take her on to 47. And at the end of the over, 46 rather, no, 47, and India 112 for 2 now. Yeah, just looking at that Izzy Wong over. So Lauren Bell had India 7 for 2. Mandana out first ball of the match, and then Shafali Verma out for just 2 as well. 2 catches on the edge of the circle. Then that Izzy Wong over, which went for 27 with 3 wides. 2 of them went down to the boundary as well. The most expensive over in T20 internationals for England, certainly since 2009, when the count back has been done. So punishing. Do you think that's had an effect on the others as well? Because you do all that, the brilliance of that opening over, the buoyancy of having them 7 for 2, and then it just sort of everything dissipated.
Yeah, and I think, look, there's no doubt as a bowler, you're Lauren Bell at the other end, you get frustrated. You've done the hard work to keep it tight, and at the other end it's lead, and you want to support your mate, but you're also saying, come on, we need you to find that line and length. And so the minute that starts going, the fielding starts to creep.
Courtine Coleman again here, the 18-year-old around the wicket, launched down the ground. That has gone a mile for 6. Straight back down towards the river end. And what a way to bring up a 50 for Jemima Rodrigues. She raises her bat, gets a hug from her batting partner. 53 from 31 balls, 7 fours, and that the first 6 of the innings. It might open the floodgates for India for Rodrigues.
She's a little power rocket. That ball was actually a really difficult length, and she just gets such a big stride in, uses the full flourish of the bat and finds a way to smash that down the ground. Look, for an 18-year-old who's actually bowled a nice length, you've got batters who've got so much skill to put it away.
Courtine Coleman in again, a little bit fat, a little bit quicker. Could be a return catch just beyond her reach. Rodrigues slaps her hand against her thigh in frustration. She was looking to turn it to leg, got a leading edge, it popped up, and Courtine Coleman is quite tall and she lunged forward but couldn't quite pick the ball up on the full. Decent effort. She goes around the wicket again, a little bit quicker on the drive is Rodrigues along the ground this time, and brings long off the rope to field. A single taken, 119 for 2 in this 12th over. So Yastika Bhatia 51 from 32, but Rodrigues is caught up. It was all Bhatia, wasn't it, for the first half of Rodrigues' innings, and she's had more of the strike. She's been aggressive over the wicket hit, just makes some space to stroke it out towards cover along the ground though, and finds Gibson on the edge of the circle at cover.
They do look very comfortable, the Indians, moving around the crease, don't they? You just look at that, was a good ball there from Courtine Coleman. You see Bhatia moving away to the leg. They've got a bit of dancing going on.
Bowls this one into the ground, misses though. Now, was that catch missed or a stumping chance missed? Did that come off the bat? Parried by Amy Jones behind the stumps. No run taken, but looking to use her feet and come forward. A big swing, a stumping chance missed certainly by Amy Jones.
Yeah, in hindsight, that was a big miss. There was a bit of a blindside because it actually went between bat and the leg stump. There's a lot of work to do, but ideally those are the sort of moments that could change the game. Yeah,
Bhatia on 51, a missed chance. Courtine Coleman over the wicket. She dances down, lofts this one high. What sort of distance on it though? 2 fielders converging, lands between Eccleston and Dean down on the boundary in front of us, behind the bowler. And another one taken, so at the end of the over, 120 for 2. And Courtine Coleman went for 6 off her first ball, but then recovered with a dot, single, dot, and another single. She's gone for just 15 off her 2, which is pretty respectable given the way runs have been scored off some of the bowlers.
Yeah, and even just looking at this over, look, she went for 6 off the first ball, and you could see someone potentially get scared and hold on to the ball and not quite let go. She still came through strong, took varied pace, made sure she adjusted on that line and length and kept that over a little bit tighter, nearly got the wicket. So she's handling the big players coming at her well and having to navigate to left and right hand.
Lauren Bell again from the formerly Hayes Close end of the ground, the Graham Gooch end of the ground. Flat and low-level housing lines the back end of this Chelmsford ground. Flats flanking one side with low-level hospitality seating and then an open stand on the right. So Bell, tall figure around the wicket, blonde-haired, takes a bit of pace off it, driven into the ground and then ballooned back up towards Bell. She wasn't excited to run forward as if it was a caught and bowled chance. Bhatia 52 from 36.
That was a proper floaty number, 53 miles an hour. Taking a lot of pace off that.
I wonder if that was out the back of the hand. 2 for 17 so far, Lauren Bell. A double impact in the opening over. Though Smriti Mandan out first ball of the match as Bell in again. Well, that's another loopy one. Attempted slower ball. It's almost sort of dropped on the toes of the batter and then gone through to the keeper, Amy Jones. Bhatia not laying any bat on it. Golden duck we know all about. First ball of the match. Does that make it? Is it a royal or a platinum duck? I would often think those
platinum, isn't
platinum
it?
duck.
Platinum
Sometimes hear royal as if they're sort of interchangeable.
I mean,
for the
I've
first
definitely
ball
had
of
one.
an innings or first ball of a match. You've had one.
I'm sure I've had one. It's just life, isn't it?
Bell around the wicket, advancing, batters it back down the ground towards the sight screen. One bounce into the hands of Charlie Dean. They take one. Throw comes back into the keeper's end. 121 for 2 in this 13th over.
So so there's golden. Diamond is in test matches, isn't it? When it's
without facing a ball, like if you're run out without.
What's
having
when you
faced
get a
the
duck
ball.
in the first and the second? You're on a pair.
Well, you're on a pair. You're on a
sorry.
king pair if you're out. So a pair is just if you got naught. So you might have got naught from 5, naught from 10.
Yeah.
And then got another duck.
Golden.
King
one.
pair is if you get 2 goldies.
Yeah, in a test.
Yes, or any 2 innings match. Yeah.
It could be T20s as well. Eh?
Well, no, because there's only one.
I mean, I tried
Can't get
through
a
my
pair
career
in
to not
T20.
concentrate too many on the definitions, but it's good to know.
Rodrigues on 54. Bell over the wicket. Another slower ball, looking to guide it through backward point. Has squeezed it through the gap like the Ivan Needle. It's racing away. There's a slope and it goes for 4. Well, you feel, how on earth did that get between Dunkley and is it Courtine Coleman who's having to chase back? But it's fizzing. It is a quick outfield, such hot weather. And Bell's conceded a boundary.
I wouldn't say that's too bad a ball, you know. I think they're just moving well to try and create those gaps. Waits really late.
It's a sparkling innings this from Rodrigues, who's paced it really well as well, having been the junior partner at the start of it. Bell bangs one in short. This is hoiked behind square, drops into the ground. Izzy Wong chasing back, but then allows Gibson to slide in the deep. Nice bit of teamwork between the two of them. Wong sends the ball back into the middle, and Rodrigues is back for the second. She went herring after that, did Wong. 127 for 2. One more ball to come. Dug in by Bell, that one. And Rodrigues, knowing the field is largely back. Izzy Wong there at short, fine leg. The only fielder inside the ring on the leg side. Last ball of the over. Rodrigues 60 from 35 now. She's overtaken Bhatia, who's on 53. Bell races in. Slower floaty one. Looks to dab it to guide it down towards very fine deep third, but they're through to the keeper it goes. So a dot ball to end the over. Rodrigues 60 from 36. Bhatia 53 from 38. Punishing England, who took 2 wickets in the opening over and have barely had a sniff since. The stumping chance, a big let off for Bhatia.
Yeah, I think they'll look back and there'll be some moments here. You're obviously losing momentum in that power play. And what that also did, it threw Charlie Dean's plans off, because ideally, even though you want to chop and change bowlers, sometimes you want to settle in one bowler for 2 overs. They've gone well, back it up, and all of a sudden you're having to scrabble around to get people in, and then they're bowling earlier than they planned, and then all of a sudden you're chasing the game. So I felt they've had that. So can I just finalise? So obviously duck out first ball.
Yes.
Golden duck. No, duck out for 0.
Out for 0.
Golden duck out first ball. Pair is out first ball on both innings.
A pair is just naught in each innings.
Innings, yeah. And then king pair
out first ball.
Both. Okay, that's tough.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
So that's it, right? Or is anything else?
Well, out first ball of an innings or first ball of a match like this
is a platinum.
But then I'm sure that also sometimes gets called a royal duck.
It might be. Okay.
We'll get some messages at BBC TMS.
Send us in. Tell us your platinum duck story.
Oh, I think there'll be a few platinum duck stories from club cricket, I'm sure. Now, Charlie Dean continuing around the wicket, quick off-spinning delivery, parried, dropped. Well, that was a chance on the edge of the circle for Danny Gibson. They've gone through for 1. It was struck hard. but she just parried it out of her hands, then tried to go at it a second time with one hand, and the ball evaded her, but struck firmly to her at cover.
These are the moments, aren't they? This is exactly what they need. The thing is, it was a catchable height. It was coming quickly, but this is what you train for. I think England are just going to have to look at this and be sharper, a lot sharper.
Another chance gone down for Bhatia. Quicker ball into the pitch again by Gibson. Now will this go for 4 more? It does as well. Pulled hard and low. 2 fielders out in the deep, and it's gone between the 2 of them. Yeah, England are in real danger of this innings running away from them fast. It's already running. It's going to get into a sprint if they're not careful.
Yeah, and just going back to that catch as well, I think there's a few problems for Gibson there. One, once you can get 2 hands to it and it's at a catchable height, it's kind of your...
Into the pitch again from Dean, dropping these ones a little shorter. It worked into the vacant leg side region, chasing for Gibson, who comes in from the boundary. Another single added.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it becomes your error, you know, even though it was coming fast. If you had time to get 2 hands to it, you had time at a catchable height, you know, that really becomes your problem, your error. And so they've just missed a few major mile opportunities here. The stumping, catch.
Dean around the wicket, the left-handed Bhatia advances, but skews off the pad, I think, down towards short third. Could be a chance for a run out at the non-striker's end. Charlie Dean thinks she's got her. That could well be the end of Bhatia. She's walking. Off come the gloves. Oh, finally, England look to have broken this partnership. But a lot of damage has been done. Bhatia run out for 54. She's walking off, even though the umpires are asking for the replay to be sure. And we're expecting it to be 133 for 3 in this 14th over.
Let's have a look here. Good pick up, left hand as well. So from that angle, it's allowed her to just really throw everything through
Ball
the line.
in hand.
Good take as well from Charlie
Wicket's
Dean
broken.
early.
I've made my decision for the big screen.
Gone by about a metre there. That's good work from the youngster.
Was that Courtine Coleman who threw it in?
Yeah.
Yep.
It looked like that to me. The left arm up.
So 133 for 3. Good accurate throw, quick throw. It came in flat. Charlie Dean was also in the right place to take the ball and go with the throw to take off the bails. And so, well, I have to say, a destructive innings from Yastika Bhatia comes to an end. 54 from 39, a career best T20 innings from her. And not bad when you haven't played an international match for 2 years.
Yeah, brilliant. Straight into the series, got the timing straight away, intelligent attacking shots. As good as you like. This is a good thing for India, to be honest. Let's face it, it's given 2 of their batters a good chance to get settled at the crease, play some shots, find rhythm. And of course they will, you know, she personally won't want to run out, but now it allows more batters to get time at the crease ahead of that important T20 World Cup.
Yeah, and they've sent in Risha Ghosh, who is the owner of an 18-ball 50, no less, in internationals. But comes in then off the back of a healthy partnership, and a massive chance for India to try and cut loose in these last. We've still got 7 overs to go. So 133 for 3. Charlie Dean a false start, looking to bowl to Jemima Rodrigues, who is 65 not out. Taps her bat and waits. Dean over the wicket, they're off spin. Nicely floated delivery, but drilled back down the ground aerially for 4. No stopping that. Straight as you like, back past the bowler. Class from Rodrigues. India continue to motor.
I just, as a batting geek, I love watching batting technique, and I know that the modern game is not always about the technique. But for me, she's just got this ability to hit so cleanly through the line, full flow of the bat. It's just a geek paradise.
Quick delivery, caught and bowled by Charlie Dean, hit firmly by Rodrigues. Now this is what England desperately need. They've got 2 quick wickets, the 2 key big batters have gone. Can they yet stage a recovery? But Rodrigues, what a magnificent attacking knock from her. 69 off 39 balls, 138 for 4.
Well done, Skip. That's the sort of ball that is drilled back up past you, and you have to practice as a spin bowler, getting through your action, and someone absolutely nails one back. She's had to go to her left side, she's her non-dominant side, and she's just done it to perfection, really. Kept her balance, took it with the strong sort of left hand, and then supported it and made sure it didn't fall out. That was coming at some pace, and she did well.
Yeah, you were just saying just how hard she hits it and the style she's got, and that was a full-blooded attempt to get back past the bowler again. So, yeah, well played Charlie Dean. And again, that kind of performance from the captain as well can elevate the team after some chances have gone down. Been really impressed with her leadership overall, Charlie Dean.
Yeah, she's done really, really well and stepped up. Last thing I'll say, India, a bit of a mistake from them, 2 wickets back to back. I'd be in the changing room going, come on, guys. You know, we 2 experienced players at the crease. They've just opened the door a little bit for England.
Yep. Alex Hartley, the 200 was on. Is it still on?
It's definitely still on, yeah. I have no doubt about that. Richa Ghosh, she's such a good batter, isn't she? You know, she's yet to face a ball. Eccleston into the attack, world's best bowler. This is where, you know, you see, I think you can give yourselves half an over or so, but the 200 is definitely still on. But England, obviously, they have the ability to claw this back, and hopefully they'll only be chasing, you would say, probably 180.
Let's see what Eccleston can do here with 2 new batters at the crease together. Bowls on the off stump. A little bit aerial off the face of the bat here from Risha Ghosh out towards deep extra cover. And she's been joined out in the middle by Bharti Fulmani, the 31-year-old who was recalled for that South Africa series. She played a couple of internationals in 2019 and then a big gap till her second coming now. And she's waiting and watching and looking where the field's going to be set here for Eccleston. He's now slipped to number 3 in the rankings, Sophie Eccleston.
Yeah, she has, hasn't she? Lindsay Smith has gone above her.
Around the wicket she goes. Full delivery, almost Yorkshire and bowls her. Brought a bat down on it just at the last moment. Amy Jones picks up, tosses the ball back up the pitch to Eccleston.
Yeah, Lindsay Smith has climbed 32 places.
It's remarkable, isn't it? That was inside edge onto the pad, right on the toes of Fulmani. Forward again, not looking convincing here. Quick single being taken. Eccleston picking up, throwing at the stumps, back at her end, the bowler's end. There was no one there to back up, but it is backed up eventually in the deep. And just the 1 run taken. 1-3-9 for 4. I think that was a leg by signalled. So Risha Ghosh back on strike. Long off, long on, back on the fence here. 3 in the ring on the offside and 2 on the on, both behind square. A little dab sweep attempt by Risha Ghosh. It dribbles out towards square leg. And immediately with the 2 new batters, you just feel a little bit more calmness amongst England in the field.
Big couple of balls here for England and Sophie Eccleston.
Yeah, can she get out of this over? Keeping things tight or even snaffling another wicket. It's on the drive, along the ground, not hit altogether cleanly. Fielded 2 hands down in front of the sight screen at long on. A gentle single added. 139 for 4. India batting first after being put in by England. Harmanpreet Kaur's rested for this match. Eccleston in, drilled hard that time by Fulmani. Back down the ground, that's for 4. Well, long off, long on, both there, but that has gone just really inches past the stumps and no cutting it off. She's just flicks a switch. End of the over. Alex Hartley about to be joined by Henry Moran. 144 for 4. Fulmani then off the mark with the boundary alongside Risha Ghosh as Yastika Bharti was run out and Charlie Dean effected a brilliant hard-hit caught and bowled off Jamima Rodrigues. Henry Moran's about to join you, Alex.
Yeah, a great way to end the over for India with a boundary. It was a good over from Sophie Eccleston. They'll still take it, England. Pretty quiet compared to previous ones. 6 off the bat and then the 1 leg by as well. England turning to Tilly Coleman, the 18-year-old, who's bowled 2 overs. Not picked up a wicket, but only managed to go for 15, or only gone for 15, sorry, when India were really accelerating. But bowling to Risha Ghosh here, this is tricky.
Well, it is. And India's strength is so rich, isn't it? You look at Deepti Sharma, who's been one of the best players in the world as a batter and a bowler in recent times. Still to come. I mean, they have depth and depth again. Here is Coleman tossing it up, and that's drilled by Risha Ghosh out towards the deep, where Eccleston, who's fielding below us, will sling the ball in. She's got a very good arm, Sophie Eccleston, and that's a big weapon that England can use during those tight matches just to represent.
She nearly killed me once during a game.
And she's a good fielder as well.
Honestly, I wasn't looking. She threw the ball in from long on. Just whizzed past my head.
Coleman bowls, dropping the ball into the offside is for Marley. And there is no run. Well, Sophie Eccleston's a good matchup. Just missed Risha Ghosh 6 times in T20s. But it's Coleman at the moment, bowling to the right-hander for Marley, who hits that crisply out towards Freya Kemp, who runs in, firmly throws the ball out towards the deep. What happened? Tell me all.
Well, I don't really know, to be honest. All I know is, for whatever reason, I wasn't paying attention.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't even have your phone. That's nicely angled, edge towards short third. Throw comes in at the non-striker's end, but there'll be no run. So just 3 from the over so far.
Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention, and Soph just threw it back. No, I just presumed she was going to go keeper's end, but she went bowler's end.
Ah.
Yes.
Well, that'll learn you.
Yeah.
147 for 4. Courtine Coleman, fuller delivery, a little bit quickened. Marley clips that. Well, I say clips it, but it goes out to Danny Gibson at deep mid-wicket very quickly.
Bowled nicely so far today is Courtine Coleman. A little bit jittery at the start. A couple of full tosses that she got away with, just hitting to the leg side to her field. But lovely control since then.
Oh, well, that's a clever shot. It's whipped away in the air. Could be trouble. Is there? There is! My goodness, what a catch. Oh, Izzy Wong, that is spectacular. And for a first T20 international wicket for Courtine Coleman, that is some catch to thank your teammate with. And it just shows this is a team game. Izzy Wong feeling low as can be earlier on today when 27 runs came off her over. Now she gets the hugs of her teammates because she's taken a stunning catch. The reverse attempted by Risha Ghosh. She got it over the infield, so I thought, but running back, mouth wide open, over the shoulder. What a catch. It's absolutely outstanding. And what an expression on the face of Tilly Courtine Coleman, 18 years old, a wicket taker in both white ball formats for England now. And India have now lost just a little cluster of wickets, Alex Hartley, as England fight their way back into this game.
Well, it was the pressure from Tilly Courtine Coleman. 4 singles in that over, couldn't get the boundary, couldn't find the boundaries, knocking the ball into the onside. There's a dot ball in there as well, so Risha Ghosh, thinking that she's got to try and find the boundary, goes for the reverse sweep. And as you say, Henry, a brilliant catch from Izzy Wong. I thought that was going to be just a plug into the outfield for a couple of runs as soon as she hit it, as it went over her head, but well clung on to by Wong.
Because talk us through, you always say these over the shoulder are so
hard. They're so hard. They're so hard. It was one of those where she tracks the ball, she puts her head down, she runs, she sticks her arms out, and it lands in her hands. I mean, she's tracked it brilliantly. It's a full sprint for Wong, tracking the ball over her left shoulder, sticks her hands out, and it just sticks.
And she's been tossed the ball immediately, running in from the far end of the ground, round the wicket, full delivery down the leg side, and that's hit something on the way through. It's half an appeal for LBW. I don't think anything's doing from. There is certainly an extra zip from Izzy Wong, I would say, and I'm thinking about the review. I'm not sure that can be doing the right things, just on a sort of scientific level from round the wicket. Do you know what I mean? Sort of.
No.
Unless it's done something really weird.
It all looked like a wide to me.
Yeah. I suppose it wasn't the LBW, it was the catch they were looking for off the face of the bat. And there's a slower ball, bowls up! Beautiful bowling. It's the back of the hand slower ball from Izzy Wong, whose smile tells such a story. Moments ago taking one of the catches of the summer, and now bowling the sort of delivery you practice for, you dream of. And from 70 miles an hour to 52 miles an hour, off the pads, onto the top of off stump. The change-up works for Izzy Wong. It works for England, and India find themselves 6 down at 148 for 6.
Yeah, Marley's just not picked that, and we saw that a couple of times. Izzy Wong bowling it in the previous series just a couple of days ago, the back of the hand slower ball, well disguised. And Marley threw her shot before she manages to get hold of it, and it clips the top of middle stump, and it's great captaincy for me. Izzy Wong obviously taken that catch previously, and yes, Charlie Dean would have probably had an idea that Izzy Wong would have bowled from that end the next over anyway, but just give her a little bit of confidence as she's taken that catch and bowls her.
It's a beauty. Back of the hand slower ball. So the arm speed is pretty much demonstrably exactly what you would see if it was a full pace delivery. And does for the batter. Arundhati Reddy gets a full delivery down the leg side. That's wide. 149 for 6, and Wong runs back to the end of her mark, knowing that England are probably rather behind on their over rate, because it is already now 7:45 in the evening. They're only in the over number 17. Wong again, round the wicket. Bowls and appeal for LBW. No, immediately umpire Ian Blackwell is walking away and not interested at all. And India with 2 batters that, well, before that ball hadn't faced a delivery, but well, I'll tell you what, that's not a bad shout.
Pitching outside?
Yeah, it may have been. It's very, very difficult to get an LBW bowling round the wicket as a right-arm fast bowler to the right-hander. You've got to get almost to be pitching on leg, hitting in front of middle and going on to hit off. Pace off it again from Wong. It's slapped out to deep mid-wicket, where the ball will be fielded by Gibson, who loses her sunglasses as she picks up. 150 up for India. To be honest, I thought it would come quicker than that when the boundaries were flying.
Yeah, me too. Me too. A real topsy-turvy innings, really. It's gone one way and then the other. Obviously picking up the wicket of Mand her first ball. Shafali Verma falling shortly after, and then Izzy Wong's over, going for 27.
Yeah, it's been sort of innings where you thought you've known the script all along, and then it completely changes. That's not a good ball. The back of the hand, slower ball from Izzy Wong, loses its line, and it's another wide. She's had an extraordinary day, really. I'd probably open with her now, actually, with the bat. It's had the sort of day where she might smash. She can bat, but she might smash 50 off 12 balls. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, she's getting her first bowler.
Yeah. Yeah, that LBW shout. As you called it, umpire Hartley, pitching outside leg. From the Graham Gooch end in the distance, in comes Izzy Wong, and a low full toss will be nicely timed by Deepti Sharma, and it almost brings a boundary. Freya Kemple run round, 2 runs taken, and Deepti Sharma, who, the left-hander, is an elite player. 142 T20 internationals now.
Had a shocker against South Africa, though, didn't she?
Well, India did. They lost the series 4-1, having won in Australia earlier on in the English winter. And you thought that's a side having gone away to England and Australia in one series that are really going to be threatening this World Cup. I still think they are.
Yeah.
So, Izzy Wong to try and conclude the over. And the ball, with the pace taken off it, beats the drive of Deep. 1-5, 3 for 6. The floodlights twinkle on under blue skies with the vapour trails overhead of various planes drifting in and out of Stansted and going over the eastern part of England.
I flew into Stansted earlier, Henry.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you go.
From Belfast. It's not far. Took me longer in the taxi than the flight.
Well, yeah, because you're sort of up and then straight back down again, aren't you? Well, the ferry does take a while, I imagine.
Yeah, a lot of people do keep telling me to get the ferry. The ferry is very, very expensive.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can't take your car.
I don't have one.
You can't take your car. Here is Charlie D. And this is helped on its way down towards fine leg. Courtine Coleman, who's looked really good in the field, actually, today. And again, a little bit of a mark of, you can spot the fact that professionalism has come in for someone like Courtine Coleman, and during quite formative years of her cricketing journey, because she just looks like a cricketer. Do you know what I mean? Not somebody that, in your cricketing journey, you didn't get that coaching and education as a fielder.
No, I don't reckon I ever looked like an athlete in the field, Henners, did I?
Well, there was that catch in the 100, but you rather undid the hard work by looking as surprised as the rest of us. This is hit away towards cover point. No run. Is that unfair?
No, even Sophie Devine, the batter, was like, no way she caught that. Excellent catch at short fine, if I do say so myself.
Here comes Charlie Dean. And that's hit very crisply. Out towards the deep, I think for 4, and it's a brilliant shot from Deepti Sharma, who with a little sort of cannon kick will run down towards the non-striker's end. Now punches gloves with Arundhati Reddy. And out towards those flats to our left, that was hit really hard.
Yeah, really nicely timed by Deepti Sharma, knowing that she's got to hit the ball in front of square to split those two fielders at mid-wicket and deep square leg.
Here, round the wicket is Dean again with the off-spin. It's hit firmly towards Gibson in the covers, no run. Well, Izzy Wong, certainly a better bowler, more effective bowler in the back end of an innings than the start of it. And it's that mix of paces that really does work effectively. And the ball clipped down the ground from Charlie Dean, from the bowling of Dean, I should say, by Deepti Sharma. And if you want to see some of the best of the action, well, red button highlights later on today. And also on the BBC Sport website and app, in-play highlights as we go along through the evening. And Izzy Wong has bowled a beauty, taken a stunning catch as well. It's in the air, but it'll evade the fielder. It might evade Alice Capsey long off. No, moves nicely to her left to pick up. Just 2 runs taken. I think England will probably take that from the over with just the 1 boundary from it. 2 taken to conclude it. Charlie Dean finishes 4 overs, 1 for 26. And with 2 overs remaining, Alex Hartley, the score is 161 for 6.
Yeah, England will try and keep India below 180 here. And India obviously will want to get at least 10 and over for this back end. I thought England might potentially go Lauren Bell. Now they're going Danny Gibson, and then you would presume Lauren Bell for the last. She's not bowled out yet, has she? Or am I losing the will, losing the plot? Pretty sure she's got one left. I'll have a quick look.
Took a wicket very first ball, way back when. Smriti Mandana dismissed.
Yeah, she's got one left. Of course she has. Back yourself, Alex.
Here is Gibson, far end of the ground. Kicking up her heels, runs in over the wicket to the left-handed Sharma with keeper up to the stumps. Oh, and that's not far away from Heather Knight, who at short fine leg went flying to her right, but she was never really in the game to take the catch. And on the night that she becomes the England women's cricketer with more appearances than anybody else, 310 of them now, that probably would have been the best catch she's ever taken.
Oh, doesn't she look really out of place at short fine leg?
She should be in cover.
It just doesn't look like... Heather Knight shouldn't be fielding there.
Gibson bowls, it's smacked back over the bowler's head, back down the ground, and for 4 more. And Deepti Sharma is starting to get into her work. She's 15 off 5, and India 169 for 6.
That's a great shot, isn't it? It's a back of the hand slower ball from Danny Gibson, and Deepti Sharma just waits, holds her shape, and then bang, over mid-off for 4. Lauren Bell being the tallest in the field, nowhere near it.
Next delivery banged in short, down the leg side, ragged from England. Jones can't stop it up to the stumps. It's going to be 5 wides. And there was that one expensive over at the start of proceedings from Izzy Wong with 27 off it. And we've now already seen 13 from the first 2 legitimate balls of this Danny Gibson over.
I was just thinking, it's brave going for that option, isn't it? They're going for the back of the hand slower ball. She's just got it slightly wrong. Looked like maybe in between the back of the hand slower ball and the leg cutter.
It was a slightly indeterminate delivery, really, one way or another. 174 for 6. Gibson will try again. Amy Jones remains up to the stumps. And here comes Danny Gibson, the England red. That's a more conventional delivery, wicket to wicket, and worked into the onside for a single in front of what is pretty much every seat taken around this ground. A few that have made their way to the concessions.
Yeah.
It's heaving round the back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Busy.
Which is...
How many does it hold here? 5,000?
something like that, I would have thought. But of course, from the World Cup, it's going to be the test venues. So.
Rightly so. We're bigger than the little grounds now, surely.
Here is Danny Gibson, and that's nicely slapped back past her by Reddy. Not timed, it has to be said, but it does bring at least a single to get Deepti Sharma on to strike at 176 for 6 with 8 balls left of the innings.
But it's so good, 3-4 years ago we wouldn't sell out Chelmsford, we wouldn't sell out Hove, but we have done in the last few games, so it's been good to see.
Yep.
Where were we before Hove?
Full delivery, bumped it down the ground, but into space from Dipti Sharma, and they'll push for a second run, and the pressure's on the England fielders, and that's good work because they do manage to prevent that second run. And all credit to them. Canterbury.
Sold out.
And Derby before that.
Wasn't sold out.
Like weeknights harder though.
Yeah.
Sunny day at Canterbury was always likely to be a good one. Gibson bowls, hit down the ground, but on the bounce only to Eccleston. As the over concludes with 17 from it. 178 for 6, 19 overs gone.
Well, that was the over, wasn't it? You often talk about your best bowler bowling the 19th. I thought it would have been Lauren Bell, see if she could try and obviously close out the innings, break the partnership. But an expensive over from Gibson, and now India have got up and around that 180 that looked like they would cruise to, looked like they would cruise to 200. Then England came back into the game, and then India have managed to get a decent score on the board here.
Well, they sure have. It's been a really interesting game of cricket so far. Some extraordinary figures in there, but one thing that does stand out to me is that across their 3 overs apiece, Tilly Courtine Coleman on debut, the left-arm spinner has out-bowled the great Sophie Eccleston. 3 overs, 1 for 19 for Courtine Coleman.
She's bowled really nicely. How many bowlers are these? 6?
Yeah.
Guess how many bowlers the West Indies women used today against Ireland in one of their games before the World Cup?
17. Lauren Bell in and bowls and pummeled away down the ground and out towards the deep where Freya Kemple field at wide long on. Just the 1 run taken, 179 for 6.
Going to give you some context. They bowled them out for about 110, just below.
That doesn't really help.
Does. How many bowlers would you think you'd use if you were to bowl a team out for 100 in a T20?
5, 6?
9.
9. Blimey.
It's like keepers taking a pads off out of bowl as well.
Oh, I love that. That's fun.
9 bowlers. Sorry.
Go on then, why not? There's a bit of a hush around the ground as Lauren Bell runs round the wicket to the left-handed Deepti Sharma. Pace taken off it and hit away in the air into the leg side. It'll land safely. It'll do more than that. It'll go bounding on towards the boundary. And Deepti Sharma, as she does so often, coming in and playing such a valuable hand. She's moved to 21 off 11, and India onto 183 for 6, recovering from 148 for 6.
It's a great shot, isn't it, from Deepti Sharma. Pace taken off it from Lauren Bell. Steps outside the off stump, up and over square leg, who's in the inner ring, manipulating the field. Obviously only with 4 out. If you can open up those angles, it makes a huge difference. A change of field here now for Lauren Bell with square leg going out.
Keeper back. Bell runs in. Dipti giving herself some space. It's hammered out towards that leg side. There's a lot of distance out there to make up. And as the throw comes in, Amy Jones whips the bails off. But I don't think there's any trouble. Certainly the reaction from England's fielders doesn't suggest as much. But it's very good work, if nothing else, to prevent the boundary, Alex.
Yeah, it didn't feel out, did it, that one? You can
Your best angle, please.
normally tell from reactions of the team. Not out.
Home by a foot.
Made my decision.
Umpire James Middlebrook on TV duty. And not out, the screen reveals. Huge white letters on a red background over there in the far corner. Lauren Bell once more. With 3 balls left, in theory, of an innings that has ebbed and flowed all over the place. Well, what's Lauren Bell seen here? She's moving
Someone
the
behind the
field.
side screen.
Oh, well.
Hear the polite, excuse me. Get out of the way.
Lauren Bell runs in, and with pace taken off it, it's hit away crisply over the infield. And there's a long chase for the fielder Charlie Dean, who in relay with the former captain Heather Knight will throw the ball in, but that is excellent running. 3 from it. And all round good cricket. It was the only little misstep was Knight's throw, which was
No, Knight
Knight's
throw
catch.
it. Knight's catch.
catch on the relay to try and prevent the boundary was a little bit messy. But otherwise, good cricket.
Yeah, Charlie Dean flicked the ball into Heather Knight, who dropped the catch. Izzy Wong picked the ball up and threw it back in. So 3 of them to get that one.
So Lauren Bell again, round the wicket. With 2 balls left of the innings. It's hit away very firmly, but there is a fielder. And Dipti Sharma goes 22 from 13. Charlie Dean takes the catch, rolls the ball back in. There'll be a little high five or two for Lauren Bell, who's now got 3 for 33. And the score 187 for 7. Caught at deep mid-wicket, Dipti Sharma goes 22 off 13.
Yeah, picked out Charlie Dean perfectly there, did Dipti Sharma. She absolutely crunched it. If you're going off the sound of a bat, it sounded like she got hold of it and it would have flown over Dean's head. But Dean, being about 15 yards off the boundary rope, takes a pretty simple catch. And shock, Lauren Bell gets another one. It's the wicket-taking machine, she is.
Yeah, she is. And India know all about her from the success that she's had playing in the Women's Premier League. As most recently a member of the RCB side. What was it? Her Instagram followers went from what to what?
About 600,000 to 2.2 mil.
Blimey. She'll have as many as me soon.
Yeah.
187 for 7. Final ball of the innings. And here comes Lauren Bell to Kranti Gaud, who will drop the ball into the offside. Could be trouble at the non-striker's end, and a very tame throw will mean that they do get a single. And so the India score finishes on 188 for 7. Now what a remarkable innings that was, Alex, with 2 wickets from the first over, 27 runs from the second, some pretty shabby bowling, some pretty loose bits of work in the field, and some stunning catches and brilliant bowling. I mean, I don't know where to begin with that, but
pressure.
There you go. 20 overs gone, England will be chasing 189.
Pressure, that's what pressure of a game like this does leading into a World Cup play in India. We talked about the fact it feels different, and it certainly looked different. And even though there's 2 wickets off the first over, one of them being Smriti Mandana, the next being Shafali Verma, it just looked different, didn't it? It felt different. And then the brilliant partnership between Bhatia and Rodrigues has helped India get up to a very, very good score. And then the difference between, playing team like India, playing a team like India, and a team like New Zealand, is Dipti Sharma coming in at 8, get 22 off 13.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
It does, and it just adds that firepower, and it means that also you have to make sure that your bowling reserves are kept till the back end of the innings, all those things that make things trickier for a captain and a fielding side. So India conclude on 188 for 7, and it was an innings that started perfectly for England, with Mandana out first ball, Shafali going from not long after, 2 from 3, but a brilliant partnership worth over 100 between Yastika Bhatia and Jemima Rodrigues. Both faced 40 balls, Bhatia making 54, Rodrigues 69. And then a little bit of a collapse. Risha Ghosh just 4, Bharti Formali 7, Dipti Sharma 22. And then at the end, not out, Arundhati Reddy on 9 and Kranti Gaud on 1. And in terms of the bowling figures, well, Lauren Bell outstanding again, 4 overs, 3 for 34. Izzy Wong had an extraordinary night, really. 3 overs, 1 for 41, including 27 off her first over. The most expensive over bowled by an England woman in T20 internationals. But she did take a beautiful wicket and also a stunning catch. You can see that on the BBC Sport website and app with Tilly Courtine-Coleman, 18 years old on debut with the left arm spin. She finished 3 overs, 1 for 19. And that was outstanding work. Sophie Eccleston, 3 overs, none for 33. Charlie Dean, 4 overs, 1 for 26. And Danny Gibson, 3 overs, none for 34. Now, Alex, I want you to get your thinking cap on, because at the start of the next innings, I want you to some thoughts about Charlie Dean, her captaincy. But for the time being, we're going to hear from England's regular captain. Start of the World Cup, of course, just a couple of weeks ago. Recovering from a calf injury, Nat Siva-Brunt. And in the build-up to the tournament, she's been speaking to Alison Mitchell as part of the latest edition of the Stumped podcast, and has begun by giving an update on that injury.
Yeah, pretty good actually. Had some good news yesterday. I suppose now's the time to start pushing on. So yeah, that is the plan. I think everything is sort of going to plan as far as it can do at the moment. So yeah, it's been really, I guess, frustrating watching from the sidelines and not being able to help and feel like I'm missing out a little bit. But yeah, I mean the girls have done brilliantly in my absence, and yeah, it's been great watching.
What stage are you at then? Are you batting and bowling again and in the nets yet, or?
I am batting, yes. Not I haven't been bowling yet. So yeah, that's to come.
And do you feel you're on track for that opening game, or is it still a bit too early to say?
Well, having not run just yet, that's today. Today's first day back. So yeah, I mean all the plans that we've been putting together to get me back on track is ending with that first game in mind. We've got a couple of warm-up games beforehand to practice my skills in as well. So yeah, it's going to plan thus far.
And are you able to be spending time around the squad while you're rehabbing as well?
Yeah. I've been around the team quite a bit. I've been able to get home and have a little bit of space as well. So yeah, had a nice balance of that. Yeah, back in Chelmsford now, ready for the first game against India tonight.
Yeah. Now tell me about the World Cup, home World Cup. First of all, what difference does that make with it being on home soil? Everything from the support, the travel, the logistics, the expectation.
Yeah, I guess there's lots of things that are familiar about this summer. Obviously, we're playing at grounds that we've been to, driving on the bus. So I suppose familiar conditions for us in all sorts of ways, which is a nice feeling. I suppose it sort of settles you as a home side, I think. And like you say, the support that we'll get from the crowds and the public will be immense, I think. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to experiencing that energy that you get from the crowd, and yeah, a bit of friendly fire at home.
Hi, Nat. Jim Maxwell here in Sydney. World Cup's a bit elusive for England since 2017 in that famous victory. So how much pressure are you under going into this at home?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it has been a long time since 2017, hasn't it? I actually can't believe that it's been almost 9 years. Doesn't feel that long ago, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as a side, we would have loved to have, picked up another trophy or two along the way. But maybe it's a full circle moment that we're back in England with another World Cup to compete for. Yeah, I mean, there is obviously pressure being the home side, and the home fans will want us to do really well. We're sort of as a group chatting about I guess what we can affect and the bubble that we can create around our team. I suppose to not let in that outside noise. But yeah, I suppose that's part and parcel of being a professional sports person. You're going to feel that pressure from the outside, aren't you? But yeah, I suppose it's who can deal with it the best really.
Part of your preparation, you've been spending some time in a camp with the British Army. Talk about that experience and what it may have done to help your leadership.
Yeah, we spent a few days with the Royal Tank Regiment, which was very, very different to any experiences we've had before. I suppose that is probably what it was designed to do, really, to introduce us to different ways of leadership, different ways of working as a team. And yeah, seeing where we can, I suppose, bring in those experiences to the cricket team. I think by all accounts they were impressed with our physical ability and the willingness to muck in with all the soldiers and stuff. And yeah, it was a really cool experience in the end. But yeah, some great learnings from a leadership point of view, which yeah, hopefully we can employ this summer.
So did you learn how to drive a tank?
They wouldn't let us drive it, unfortunately. We all sort of got into the driver's seat or the the passenger seat. I mean, it's a very, very cramped space in a tank. I'm not sure I would like to be shut in there for a few days.
Just back on your squad, talk a bit about the 18-year-old Tilly Courtine-Coleman. What do you make of her? What are her qualities?
Yeah, she's always willing to learn, and I suppose not afraid to ask questions, which is really cool. I know when I came into the team, I was absolutely terrified to ask anything. So it's a different time now, which I think is really nice. But yeah, I mean, she's obviously got some brilliant skills with the ball. Willing to, I suppose, try and read the batter and change her pace when she sees fit, which is really nice. She's got great instincts. So really a delight to be around the group, and hopefully she gets a bit of a chance in the series against India.
Good luck.
Hi, Nat. Hi, Nat. This is Charu Sharma from Bangalore. Thanks for joining us. This is your 7th T20 World Cup, in case you weren't keeping count, and your second one at home. Has been a massive collection of experiences. How would you describe a then and now scenario in your game and the game overall?
I think my first T20 World Cup, where was that? I think it might have been India, actually. I just think that the scores are so much higher now. I suppose the ceiling is a lot higher. And sort of T20 cricket felt a little bit like 50 overs, in that you sort of have a bit of a power play and knock the ball around in the middle and then maybe go for it a bit at the end. Whereas now, people have the license to attack from ball one, keep it going, and I suppose look for scores over 200, which is really cool.
That was Nat Sivabrant having a chat with us on the BBC Stumped podcast. Myself, Jim Maxwell, Charu Sharma. Search for BBC Stumped on the BBC Sounds app to have a listen to that, and also to Claire Connor, the ECB Deputy Chief Executive, talking about the upcoming Afghanistan Women's Refugee Tour to the UK, and her talking about the possibility of future funding for them, where she says she feels quite optimistic but not very. Do have a listen to that. But yes, Nat Sivabrant saying that things are going to plan so far, she says, as regards her recovery from the calf injury, which she's batting again but not yet bowling, and that is the concern leading into the opening game of the T20 World Cup. Right, England at the moment have a big task ahead of them. They need to chase 189 to beat India here at Chelmsford, and Arundhati Reddy has the ball in her hand, getting ready to bowl to Sophia Dunkley. Alex Hartley, it'd be England's second ever highest chase to win if they're successful. Game on, says the Tannoy, and off we go. No slips in place. 4 in the ring on the offside, 3 on the on. Ready in. Slower ball floated in first of all. Just patted back up the pitch to the bowler, Sophia Dunkley, with a smile on her face.
She just said that was quite slow.
It looped in towards her, didn't it? Earlier, that fabulous attacking partnership between Jemima Rodriguez and Yastika Bhatia. 127 off 76 balls for the third wicket. India were looking good for 200 comfortably. 14th over, things began to come undone with 2 wickets. Here is Reddy in, down the leg side, a wide signal taken by the keeper. So England get going with an extra. Floodlights are starting to come on. Are they going to have much impact this evening, do you think, Al?
Oh, you wouldn't think so, would you? I don't even know what time it goes dark anymore, but it's past 9:30, isn't it?
We're not at the longest day, but it's just so nice having this warm weather early in summer, knowing the longest day is yet to come.
Yeah, I get confused with all the... It's not summer yet, is it?
We're officially in British summer time. Ready in, outside the off stump, bit of an inside edge, streaks away down towards the sight screen, behind the keeper for 4. Signal comes from the umpire, and England move on to 5 for none.
Yeah, a little bit streaky there from Sophia Dunkley, poking at the ball outside the off stump. Thick inside edge, goes past leg stump for 4. England won't mind how they get them. Just got to get them.
Exactly. It led to some clapping from the keeper to say, yep, you nearly got it, don't worry. That could have easily cannoned onto the stumps. Ghosh bobs down behind the stumps. Retty over the wicket, outside the off stump this time, and Dunkley lays a defensive bat on it, just looking to try and run it towards third. The ball bobbles away off the outer edge of the bat, and the keeper is there to pick up. Doesn't feel quite as sort of humid or heavy as earlier, does it?
Oh, there's a nice breeze.
Yeah, the temperatures have dropped off a little bit. Some of that cloud has dispersed. There's a few little bits of blue. So I think we're all right for storms. Should avoid anything like that. Dunkley taps her bat, looks down the pitch and sees Arundhati Reddy approaching there at the crease now. Bowls outside the off stump, taken by the keeper, who whips off the bails. Missed, beaten past the outside edge. But she was comfortably back in her crease. But Sophia Dunkley's not really quite getting the measure of Reddy at the moment.
No, I was just about to say, Ali, I'm intrigued how Dunkley will go about this, because she was quite subdued in that run chase when England only needed 80 to win against New Zealand. It didn't really feel like the way she normally bats. It feels like, is she batting for her place, knowing that Alice Capsey is now scoring runs at the top of the order? Danny Wyatt-Hodge will come back at the top.
Yeah, it's quite the dynamic, isn't it? Here is Reddy. Past the stumps now. Bowls to Dunkley, who works it into the onside. Should be stopped. A one-handed sprawl. The ball evades Shafali Verma. They're able to come back for two. Reid Rodrigues comes in off the boundary to pick up. And Verma didn't quite time the dive. Took some of the pace off the ball. But Dunkley's able to get back. 7 for none now. And to wait for that one from Reddy as well. Got on the front foot.
A good bit of fielding from Shafali Verma, who used to be a little bit of a statue in the field, didn't she?
She put her sprinting boots on just to cover not a massive amount of ground to her right. There's some width for Dunkley over the top of Deepti Sharma at backward point for 4. And enough behind point to make sure it went in the gap. Well, that'll make her feel better. Boundary off the last ball of that over. So she's on to 10 from 6, 11 for none, England. Chasing 189.
Short, wide, outside the off stump, but beautifully played from Sophia Dunkley. Deep in her crease, watches the ball right onto the middle of her bat, whips it for 4. She's very wristy, isn't she, Sophia Dunkley? She cracks that bottom wrist.
Yeah, and you're right, like whilst that New Zealand victory in the last game was dominant on the face of it, New Zealand out for so few and England was such a small target to chase.
I was disappointed it took England 14 over.
Yeah, it wasn't an attacking, aggressive, let's really take charge of this and put our mark on the game. They got there. Charlotte Edwards acknowledged as much at the end, isn't it? It's just about getting the win.
Yeah, it is, and I respect that.
As you get closer to a World Cup and you move into a World Cup,
you're not going to win many games of cricket if you're consolidating in the middle. Yeah. T20 games of cricket.
So 1 over from Arundhati Reddy. And now Kranti Kaur from the other end. He's an opening bowler on the rise, on the up. She's 22 years of age, comes hurtling in outside the off stump, and that's guided away by Capsey. Backward a point out to the deep, where Rodrigues is... it's Nandi to field on the boundary. Somebody else who... Nandani Sharma, we'll see her in action who's bowling in his, I'm sure. So Dunkley facing up again on 10. There is a slip in place now here for Kranti Kaur. And Yastika Bhatia is there at the edge of the circle, a sort of wide, short third. Here is Kaur, who comes in. Beats her on the outside edge. Dunkley looked a little bit suspicious then, as if she was worried. She looked back as if the ball might have clipped the edge on the way through, but a defensively angled bat and through to Richa Ghosh.
Just stuck on the crease there, Sophia Dunkley. Wasn't sure whether to go back or forward. There's a little bit of neither. The ball stays low as well. It's done well to miss everything there, to be honest with you, Ali.
One step forward and then the weight goes back, and then both feet a bit glued to the ground. And again, lofted high, back down the ground towards the sight screen. She's got all of this, Dunkley, for 6. The ball thuds into the sight screen at the far end. And that's quite the blow.
Dismissive from Sophia Dunkley. This one slightly fuller from Kranti Kaur. And Sophia Dunkley, that is her bread and butter. Down the ground, over mid-off. Beautifully struck.
That's the one.
Beautifully stricken, pardon.
Well, that is free Dunkley up. She came advancing down the pitch as well. A full weight behind it. Waits again, watches. No slip in place now. Banged in short, and she lets that one go. We pushed a touch wider by Kaur. No attempt at a shot from Dunkley. Wanders away towards square leg with a bat under her arm. And maybe just adjusting the gloves. Probably a little bit sweaty and sticky still out there for the players out in the middle, even though it's much more comfortable watching and viewing at the moment. There's a little bit of coolness in the evening air. We now approach 20 past 8 in the evening. Gowd in again here to Dunkley. Bowls it short, goes to batter it back down the pitch again. Catch taken on the edge of the circle. Shafali Verma there. And Dunkley hangs her bat over her shoulders in dismay and thumps her bat against her pad, and well she might. She'd hit 1-6 back down the ground. This one didn't get hold of it in the same way, and a running catch by Verma. Dunkley gone for 16, 18 for 1, chasing 189.
Yeah, just doesn't get hold of it. As obvious as that sounds, she comes down the pitch again, Sophia Dunkley, but it's a shorter ball from Gowd into the pitch. It's not that fuller ball that she wanted to create when she came down the surface. So the ball, she ends up cramping herself up Karoom and slapping it to mid-on, who takes a pretty simple catch, and Sophia Dunkley slaps her bat on her pad. She's furious with herself because she's tried to predetermine the shot she was going to play, and the ball just wasn't there for it.
Disappointing innings, really, and this dynamic around who will the opening partnership be. Danny White, I think she's on the ground today, isn't she? She's rejoined with the squad, but not playing in this match and come back from parental leave, just giving her a chance to get back in the groove, but she'll be featuring in the next game. And the big, all eyes will be on then who does she partner with, and at the moment the form player at the top has been Alice Capsey.
Absolutely has, and that's the brutality of international cricket.
And doesn't Shafali Verma know that, because she was a player that missed out on a World Cup, but she did then get a chance at the back end of the tournament, didn't she, in the 50 over version.
Wild.
Quite some way. Amy Jones then facing up. Gowd is in, clipped confidently off the legs by Jones behind square for a single, gets off the mark. Ball's picked up in the deep. So one more for the England total at the end of the over. So wicket taking over for Krantigaard, 19 for 1 after 2 overs. And this target 189. If you did miss any of the action earlier, there will be highlights available on the BBC iPlayer. Lauren Bell began with 2 wickets in her opening over, 7 for 2 India were. But then Izzy Wong could not get it right. The ball was being sprayed wide, which went to the boundary, conceded 27, the most expensive over in T20 internationals for England, certainly since 2009. And then this partnership ballooned between Rodriguez and Bhatia, 127 off 76 balls, some big shots in there as well worth the watch back. But then those two both fell in the 14th over, and that just allowed England to stop India going beyond the 200 mark, but they're still faced with what would be their second best run chase ever if they can get the 189. However, they've already lost Sophia Dunkley.
It does feel like now's the era of players that is capable of chasing these scores, doesn't it? Doesn't daunt me as much as it necessarily would have done 4 years ago.
We've seen some crazy innings, haven't we? Here is Nandini Sharma to Jones, driving quite elegantly through extra cover along the ground. Comes back for a second. And the throw comes in. Verma moves in to cover the stumps. Save the bowler's fingers. So Nandini Sharma is on her international debut, 24 years of age. So enjoying her first call-up. Memorably got that hat-trick playing for Delhi Capitals in the WPL. And that led to her being picked for India A. She was the leading wicket taker in this year's WPL. She can be a very accurate bowler. In now to Jones. Jones forward defensively up towards mid-off. I'm missing a very classical Amy Jones here in the shots she's playing so far. Most things along the ground.
Yeah, it's one of those where you have still got time to get yourselves in. Even though you're chasing, 190, you can still give yourselves a little bit longer than you think.
What was the change of mindset for her being asked to bat 3 in this match? As Sharma moves in again, full toss towards Shafali Verma, who throws at the stumps because Capsey was backing up, but the throw was wide. Capsey gets back into her ground, and Verma is slapping her hand on her thigh as if to say, I could have had Capsey run out at the non-striker's end then.
Yeah, it was a horrible throw from Shafali Verma. Wouldn't have hit a 4th set, I don't think, to the left-hand side.
And Capsey was barely in the frame, if that had been accurate.
Yeah. I think, in all honesty, it's just that Maya Bouchier hasn't scored the runs at number 3 or set the tone that England would have liked. And instead of, I guess, messing around with the order too much, Amy Jones has the experience of batting in the middle. She's opened the batting, so it's almost like, do you mind disrupting her
Right.
I don't think it will make much difference.
Sharma goes in, outside edge towards backward points. They think about a single on a misfield, then think again. It's Jemima Rodrigues, and even with the fumble, she's lightning quick in the field. It's a dot ball.
So I think for me, Nat Sivabrunt comes back in and bats 3.
Yeah.
So
This
then
is a stopgap for a moment.
this is just
Yeah.
a stopgap waiting for that. So then you go, okay, Danny White-Hodge comes in. Who does she come in for? Is it Capsey? Is it Dunkley? Nat Sivabrunt. So actually England have got these headaches, but they'll probably want Kemp and Gibson to play the roles that they would play if they are to play in that opening World Cup game, so they don't get too disrupted.
Sharma in 21 for 1. England looking to drive. Hits it hard back past the bowler for 4. Whistling away towards the boundary. A real thump of bat on ball there. Amy Jones picks up 4. England 25 for 1 now in this third over.
England needed that, didn't they? Just a couple of dot balls there. The pressure's starting to build. This time, elegantly driven back down the ground from Amy Jones, and umpire Anna Harris ducks and weaves out the way.
You do have to be nimble as an umpire, don't you, in this game? All-female official panel announced for the T20 World Cup again for, I think, was it the third time, perhaps, or third tournament in a row that there has been a full female panel. So here is Sharma again over the wicket. Full ball, Jones lofts this. It goes aerial above the head of the fielder. It does land safe. Over deep mid wicket. Back they come for 2. Picked up in the deep. As a loopy throw comes in back on the bounce to the bowler.
I'm going to sound controversial.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with it.
Do you know, I actually spoke to an umpire who should remain nameless, who suggested that actually they almost would rather it be mixed.
Yeah,
Just to add in, I guess, by the very nature of it, really, there are male umpires who are more experienced simply because they've been in the game longer, and it just adds to it. But I know what you mean as
I don't
well.
agree with it. With the inclusion in sport of, wanting females to be able to commentate and work on men's sport, why are you excluding men from working on women's sport?
I think that is a valid point. Then at the moment, I think it's wanting to make such a sort of point and to highlight. And these stories probably do still matter at this point of time in the history of women still making their mark on the game. And then I think probably that the sort of rebalancing will come, won't it?
But then it'll be one of the World Cups. Oh, we've not got an all-female umpire. Well, why? Why are you going backwards?
Here's a slip for Kranti Gaud as Capsey's on strike, stroking out along the ground to Rodrigues at extra cover. Throw comes back into the keeper. So 27 for 1 after 3 overs. This is the first ball of the 4th. The target 189. Yeah, you've got Claire Polisak as the most experienced umpire in amongst the group for this World Cup. 4 umpires are making their T20 World Cup debut. I think they officiated in the 50-over World Cup. Here is Gaud again, scything away through the vacant point region. No protection on the cover boundary because that fielder was well in front of square. And so the flames shoot up into the sky. Boundary for Capsey, 27 for 1.
That is class from Capsey, isn't it? Pure timing. Yes, using the pace of the bowler, the ball's outside the off, but just elegantly cut through the offside, knowing that there is a deep point as well, so she plays the ball slightly earlier in front of point and it races away to the boundary.
Capsey 5 from 3. She waits with a bat poised baseball style, slightly back of the length, pulled into the ground and down to deep square. Capsey 3 for a gentle 1. And comes the throw to the keeper. 32 for 1 now. She's 4th over.
Timing the ball so nicely that you almost want her to get runs. She looks like she deserves, that one of those quick scores, one of those big scores.
And can she replicate the kind of form she showed against New Zealand? That was amazing, wasn't it, that game at Derby? 74 from 51. It's Jones on strike, though, standing tall here. Gets some width and flays it out to the covers for 4. Field is up on that side of the ground, just that one fielder in the deep. And Jones just stood tall and used her leave as well through that offside. Good over this for England. 2 boundaries now.
Yeah, I took the words out of my mouth. Ali just up on her toes, using all of her height, hitting the ball as it's on the up, but back down on the decline. Beautifully timed again through the covers. And just a difference of the extra bit of pace from the other end. Not this end.
The Sir Alistair Cook end? Is that what you're thinking of? Here is Gaudin again. Takes some pace off this time. Guided to deep backward point. Finds the fielder this time, and just the one run taken. So England moving on to 37 for 1 in this fourth over.
There are that many ends that you go to. I forget them all. I've not experienced enough like you to write it all down.
Is it a quirk that we've got ends being named after batters? Would it be more appropriate? No disservice to absolute Essex and England legends, Graham Gooch and Sir Alistair Cook. But more often than not, it feels like it's bowlers who should have ownership of the ends. Here is Gowd. In again. Back of a length now. Capsey's a thin edge through to the keeper. Cross-batted shots. Capsey's walking off. A wicket almost out of nowhere. I think she'll be furious with herself. She's gone for 6. 37 for 2 now, England, in the fourth over.
It's well bowled from Kranti Gowd. An expensive over. 10 runs coming off it. But the last ball short into the pitch. Bouncer Alice Capsey looks to cut the ball, play it up and over short third. A thin edge through to the keeper as she goes deep in her crease. Might have even been an under edge there, Ali, just off the toe end of the bat. Just off the toe end, outside edge, but off the toe end.
Very, very thin edge, wasn't it? But the bowler absolutely heard it. The wicket-keeper knew and Capsey knew. So gone for 6. 37 for 2.
Heather Knight coming out to the middle. This is where she played her first game not as England captain.
Is that right?
Yeah, when she came back home, but she did a hamstring. It was a horrible injury, and she ended up walking off. It wasn't nice viewing at all. I think, was it against Sri Lanka?
Is this just the May last year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and everyone was so excited to see her.
Yeah. But that hamstring was it kept her out for a long time, didn't it? Surgery and everything. So Heather Knight is back, and this is her 310th appearance for England across formats, making her the most capped for England now, passing the record of her own coach, Charlotte Edwards, and former captain. Jones on strike here, clips one away. Now there's a bat and pad towards short fine leg. There's a fumble in the field. Dot ball. Jones 14 from 9. But servant of the game.
Yeah, I think
really has been, hasn't she?
Credit to her to be able to have gone through the eras of cricket as well, and the professionalisation of the game, and for her to be able to change and adapt her game as time's gone on.
Arundhati Reddy in, right arm over the medium pace. Takes a bit of pace off. Now it's gone through the batter, fumbled by the keeper. She's got her hands on her head as if to say, was there a little thin edge there that was spilt by Risha Ghosh, who's standing up to the stumps with a helmet on to the pace of Arundhati Reddy. Cuts in a treat, that ball. I think just cut her in half, and she was hoping it would trim the bails on the way through. How that missed, I'm not sure.
That's one of those, as a bowler, you go, how has that missed the stumps? It jags back a country mile.
The treat of a delivery. Amy Jones had absolutely no answer to it. Listen to how quiet the crowd are at the moment. They are dialed into this at the moment. Jones on 14, clips this one away through the leg side, out to the deep. Rodrigues is there to field. I think the English crowd are the England supporters a little bit anxious about the early wickets and the big task ahead of them. Haven't heard many of the drums. What happened to the drums that were banned for India earlier?
Maybe there's a drum curfew.
Yeah, it might be for the flats around the place. Who knows? There was a really vibrant atmosphere around the ground before play started, and as soon as play began, actually, I don't think I've really heard the Indian dole drums.
There's always one guy behind the Graham Gooch end who plays his music, and
in his garden.
Yeah,
you're right. Reddy is in, a little bit of width outside the off stump. Knight stroking on the drive to extra cover, no run. I remember that because we had a commentary box that end once, didn't we? Was it for a
100?
Yeah, 100
First
game.
year of the 100, I think it was.
Yeah, and it was quite heavy metal music, wasn't it?
Was it 100? No, it can't have been. It must have been
not on
England
this ground.
winning.
England. Do you know what? It wasn't the Meg Lanning match, was it? It wasn't the record match.
No, it's one of my
first
games. I remember wearing stilettos.
It was a live game, wasn't it? A live game on the TV that we did from the far end. Reddy is in, forward defence from Knight. Don't see too much of that in T20. She came forward, just did a stroke, yet to score these first couple of deliveries. Can't hear any booming music floating over the ground at the moment.
He does do it every year, though. He did it last year as well.
Same style of music?
Same, heavy metal.
Here's Heather Knight, tapping her bat, waiting. Last ball of the over from Reddy. England's target, 189. Reddy moves in, coming forward, comes off the pad into the leg side. They run through for one. There's a bit of bat in there. There's some bat involved. A single then for Heather Knight, who gets off the mark. So 39 for 2. A little bit of a stutter then for England with both Dunkley and Capsey. Leg bye is now signalled. That took a while. I didn't think there was bat involved. So big task ahead of England. They've lost 2 wickets now. Henry Moran's coming in to join you, Alex Hartley.
Yeah, a huge contrast in the power play here for England and India. Very similar in the wickets down. England now require 10 runs and over already. And that run rate, India was 66 for 2 at this stage. England just a few behind because India haven't had that over that went for 27.
Well, indeed. In fact, they are 27 behind.
It's good maths, that.
Right, here we go. Start of a new over. Kranti Gard, 2 for 18 so far, and striking the body of Heather Knight as she runs through for a leg bye. Now we've got a dilemma, Alex.
Oh no, what is it?
Well, it's not just the racket that Ebony's making, trying to sit down next to me, but it is the fact that we've been alerted that, because they've moved the press box here, other side of the ground.
Yes.
I just had a message saying a load of cake has been brought out. But it's probably
Too far.
Probably a 15-minute round trip.
Yeah, no, we don't. No one's got time for that.
I don't think we have. Kranti Gard from the far end. Jones, who's played very nicely batting at 3, has slapped it through the offside to deep extra cover, but a good piece of fielding out there in the distance from Shrey Charoli will prevent Jones getting any more than a couple. The required rate stands at basically exactly 10 and over. Jones 17 off 13.
Depends what cake it is, because if I go all the way around there and it's a Victoria sponge, I won't be very happy.
What would be enough for you to go?
Chocolate fudge cake, chocolate brownie.
So there is a theme.
Yeah, chocolate.
Right, yeah.
Chocolate!
Jones plays with a straight bat, pushing towards extra cover. Right, well, we need extra info, don't we?
Yeah, I love chocolate.
It's, yeah, I mean, it's also the risk that you might get there and all of the cake's gone.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of lemon drizzle. Bit boring though, innit?
Oh, I disagree.
Ginger, love a ginger cake.
Oh, yeah, one of the really spicy ones. Yeah. Kranti Gard bowls to Jones. It's in the air, but drops a yole so short of mid-on. Throw comes in at the non-striker's end, and there's a few questions being asked by India fielders here, because Heather Knight had left her ground at the non-striker's end. She doesn't look worried.
I don't think this is out. I think she's back. Heather Knight, she turns and just...
TV umpire to director. We have a run out at the bowler's end. Have you got your side-on angle, please? Bat is grounded. I've made my decision for the big screen.
Not out. Sorry, spoiler.
Have you ever watched the movie England versus India? Henry's got all the spoilers. There you go, on the big screen. Not out.
Okay, Kranti Gard bowls to Amy Jones, whipping across the line, looking to try and beat the fielder at mid-wicket. And Deepti Sharma, whose fielding has come along a long way from fairly humble beginnings, I think it's fair to say, does well to stop it.
Have you ever had a cake howler? So, I have.
Go on.
So Kate Cross, my best friend,
Yeah.
told
Excuse me.
she loves carrot cake. She's like, I love carrot cake.
I love carrot cake.
Yeah. So honestly,
Carrot
this
and
is what.
ginger cake.
And she said, I love carrot cake. I was like, okay, I'll make a note of that.
Kranti Gard bowls to Heather Knight, dropping the ball towards cover. That's a very good over. And as the throw comes in, again, the stumps are hit. And the 6th over concludes with the power play done at 43 for 2. So Heather Knight on 1, Amy Jones on 17. England chasing what is a hefty target of 189. Go on.
She's like, Al, if you nip to the bakery, get me a piece of carrot cake. I'm like, yeah, no worries, you love carrot cake. 30th birthday. Her sister rings me.
Well, hold on. Oh, right.
What's her favourite cake?
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's carrot cake.
Well, that is not an unreasonable assertion to make.
Apparently that was a honking choice.
What?
Worst thing I've ever done as a best friend, and the trust had been completely broken. And that was it. She doesn't like carrot cake.
Well, you know, she asked for it.
No, she loves carrot cake, but apparently not as a whole cake, just as a piece.
Oh, no, you can't start specifying. That's no.
So I still don't know what cake she'll want for a 40th, because it's definitely not a carrot cake.
This feels, This feels like it needs
Ev's
further.
40th. Yeah, she's still 6 years away.
Got time.
I'll have to start. If you wanted a cake for your birthday, what would it be?
Sharma bowls this extraordinary action as it humbled into the leg side. Rodrigues, what a fielder. Out at deep mid-wicket, diving to her left and preventing the boundary. Sharma's action, how do you describe it, Al?
That one was a bit malingery, wasn't it? That one, but she's not like that all the time.
Yeah, it was very sidearm, wasn't it? Shirt untucked, short sleeves, 58 on her back. She runs in now to Sharma. And that is lofted down the ground by Amy Jones, back over the bowler's head. It'll plug just a little bit, and she does get 4. And England are going to have to start pressing on a touch here, and Amy Jones has been bumped up the order to number 3. Has seized the initiative here. She's 24 off 80.
Yeah, that one a little bit whippy by Sharma. Her front arm drops quickly, and then she holds her back arm. Think of Bumrah, the way that he sort of pauses. It's a bit pausey, but not quite as armsy, if that makes sense. Her front arm comes in properly. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And reaching for it, across the line. She might have got 4 here, and she does. 50 comes up. There's Amy Jones, who is a tall figure out there in the middle. Reached well outside the off stump, and with a cross bat, somehow managed to get it past the fielder at wide long on. That was a good shot, and 10 from the over puts pressure on Sharma.
And the thing is here, I'm not sure, it was a back of the hand slower ball from Sharma and really nicely played from Jones. I'm not sure being hit for consecutive boundaries would necessarily upset Sharma, because the boundaries, you have to remember, during the WPL are so small and the games are so high scoring.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does sort of make you a little bit more numb to it. Jones again goes hard on it, into the leg side. Dangerous player at this point. As Krauti Gowd fields on the bounce, 1 taken. England 54 for 2, needing a further 136. And Dani Sharma, it made an international call-up. Had a good Women's Premier League, 17 wickets, including a fifer.
And a hat-trick.
And sort of player who we could see a little bit more of, I sense. I think looks a good bowler. Biggest surprise, I think, probably in the India squad for this tournament. Uncapped at the time of selection. In comes Sharma. That's nicely flayed away. A shot that Heather Knight has played many, many times across over 300 appearances for England now. As it's flashed down to wide third. Played very late, that cut. And it goes sizzling away towards the boundary.
Yeah, just using the pace of the bowler, Heather Knight. It's a shot she plays so well. Opens up the face, cuts the ball behind, backward point for 4.
Yeah, lovely shot. A bit like the cake. You open up the face. Right, I've asked a question. Should we see if we've got an answer?
Yeah.
This is pushed into the offside and fielded by Deepti Sharma.
Pictures.
Oh, there's a chocolate cake in there, Al. I can see.
No, there isn't.
Oh, it's a Lamington.
No, there
That's
isn't.
a brownie.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a coffee cake, because I know my cakes. There's a coffee cake, there's a Victoria sponge, there's a red velvet cake.
Oh, yeah. That's got a flake on it.
Yeah, but that's got some sort of like toffee in it or something.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I don't like toffee.
All right. What about caramel?
No, I don't like caramel either.
All right. There you go. That answers that question then. Thank you from the press box for that information. Alex is going to go and not get a cake. I'm very pleased to say Ebony Rain from Brent is alongside me.
Victoria Sponge should be in the mix. That was in their list, you said. Victoria Sponge. That's solid.
You can't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong with it. Bit of jam, fluffy, standard cake.
Yeah, lovely. Bit of cream.
Bit of cream.
Not too overwhelming, over the top of the
It's
icing.
all right with a cuppa.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Right, we're going to see Trey Charney having a bowl from the far end of the ground. Number 4 on her back, and left arm spin immediately beats a huge booming drive from Amy Jones. And Charney's a sort of bowler who's just such fun to watch, and sort of the mystery, the flight, the subtleties and variations. It's a real challenge. Jones is on 29. England need to continue the momentum. Here comes Charity from the far end tosses it up. Jones drives elegantly out past the fielder at cover and past the dive as well of Shefali Verma, who rather went down in stages. And in the distance, there was just a figure with bouffant hair tumbling to the floor as the ball evaded her grasp. 62 for 2. And Jones to 33 off 22. That was a nice shot. It was not particularly powerful. It was just well placed, nicely timed. Charity again as the birds tweet in Chelmsford. Jones this time deep in the crease will whip into the leg side for at least one. It'll just be a single. And England require 126 further runs to win. The target is 189. We're midway through the 8th over, 2 down. Both openers out cheaply. As India discovered, Dunkley made 16, Capsey just 6. Still no Matt Sivabrunt in this side. As Charity bowls to Knight, slap back over the bowler's head, not perfectly timed, and there's work to do for Arundhati Reddy, who does it pretty effectively at long on, so it's just the 1 run. Could be a good game this, Ebbs.
Yeah, I feel like the turning point here could be the spinners, because clearly England started to resettle against the seam. You could see how well Amy Jones was playing. And so the question now, with a change of pace, having to maybe move around the crease more.
Charity tosses it up. Jones whips into the leg side, out to deep mid-wicket for 1 more, 65 for 2.
Yeah, for India, that will be the game plan, to try and shake up this partnership with a change of pace and then get into new batters and just try and stutter the flow. But for England, this partnership, it's just experience, isn't it? These two have been around for a long time, been in many situations, the sort that can just settle things down.
Round the wicket, Shrey Charity with the left arm spin, bit quicker and flatter this time as Knight will dig the ball out. Into the offside it goes, fielded by Bharti Fulmali, who's had a multi-year absence from the India side, but gets a call up for this as a powerful middle order hitter, and that's what the Women's Premier League has done, Ebbs, isn't it? It's not just unearthed young talent and those players that have got a huge future for India for a number of years, but also some of those players that would have fallen away from the system and now get another opportunity.
Yeah, that professionalism allows them to come back. So many people just don't have those contact hours and the investment in infrastructure. They've got the talent, and so I think with this new wave of movement for India in particular, they've got such a pool of players that they can go back and almost revisit, put that investment in, put that time in, and see where their potential can lead. That whole power hitting thing as well now, it's a different game. You're trained to come out and try and hit boundaries, try and take the game on. Well, this is one of the changes I was looking forward to seeing, Henry. Deepti Sharma's starting to roll her arms. I think this could be the battle. If there's going to be a swing one way or the other, Deepti Sharma will just try and get stuck in.
Player of the match in the 50 over World Cup. Rather, the player of the tournament. And Deepti Sharma moving in with her off spin. Oh, there we go. And announcing herself on the tour of England with an immediate pulling out of the delivery. And just winding the crowd up, really. I quite like that. We all remember what happened with Charlie Dean at Lord's.
One of my favourite moments.
Was it?
Yeah.
Here comes Deepti Sharma. And worked into the onside. That will be 1 run from the bat of Heather Knight, who's 8 off 10, just a little slower getting going. 67 for 2. And if you aren't aware of the story, back end of 2022, Charlie Dean run out of the non-striker's end and caused consternation at Lord's. Reverse sweep attempted by Amy Jones, and she beats the infield. Now the ball is going to, I think, win the race. There is some effort going on between 2 India fielders, but in the end it was just too quick for Shrey Charity and the stand-in skipper Smriti Mandana. And Amy Jones moves to 39. England 71 for 2 with 118 further runs required. And it was significant because it won India the game, because England were 9 down at the time.
Yeah, a little bit of bite. Obviously, Deepti Sharma had the option to play.
Sharma bowls and Jones swings hard at that behind square. On the leg side it goes for 4 more. Into the 40s, and playing some hand here is the England wicket-keeper. To Good shot, 75 for 2. You'll see that as a highlight on the red button later on today. And I'd have thought perhaps imminently on the BBC Live text commentary as well.
Yeah, getting her bat up nicely here, really letting her hands go through the line of the ball. And she's worked so hard on her game, and you've seen her evolve over time. I feel like she's come into some of her better potential over the last couple of years. It's good to see. Bit of a revival here.
Deepti Sharma, 9 from the first 3 balls that she's sent down this way, and Jones will work the ball into the onside. There might be 2 there because it's ended up just getting to the sort of position where 3 fielders come towards it, but none of them can get there quickly enough. And the dive comes in from Heather Knight, who, after 310 international appearances, must have elbows that resemble leather, having dived so many times to make her ground, and the short sleeves and all that fielding at extra cover as well over the years.
Yeah, put the body on the line, full stretch, bit of skin off, bit of blood, all good to go.
Deepti Sharma bowls to Amy Jones, and there's a pointing figure of Sharma out towards deep mid-wicket where she's saying to Jemima Rodriguez, quick, get across to it. England 78 for 2.
This is a good chase here. This is what Charlotte Edwards wants, her side chasing big totals. They've got the benefit of under lights, maybe a little bit coming onto the bat.
Final ball of the 9th over, and coming forward to meet it is Heather Knight, and 1 run is taken. So 79 for 2 is the score. The target is 189, so 110 to win from 11 overs. So my maths tells me it's exactly 10 and over. And Jones and Knight share a joke in the middle. I mean, you say they've been...
You should be on countdown.
Do you reckon I'm sort of...
You did that very quickly.
Susie Dent, Carol Vaughan.
Carol.
Well, yeah, I fancy I could do that role.
You think?
Yeah, give me a calculator.
You and Dan Norcross. Dan Norcross loves a number.
He likes a number and he likes a long word.
He does. He likes a few long words. I have to get out the dictionary a few times on air with him.
Normally, quite a few long words in succession without anybody else talking, I find. Here comes Shrey Charity. As a low full toss will be walloped into the leg side by Heather Knight. He's going to get a couple of runs out towards that long boundary over there in the distance, with the trees behind that low stand. A bit like at Derby, resembles a golf driving range. You know what I mean?
Where?
Over there, where the ball went.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Charity again in the long sleeve, shirt untucked. Forward to meet it is Knight, and if England aren't finding boundaries, then ticking that scoreboard over is perfectly good.
Yeah, you can see Knight's game plan, can't you? She's that type that's, she's not the big hitter. She can hit boundaries, but she's more placement. And then when she opens up the gap, then she goes for the boundaries. So she's just trying to run them a little bit ragged, getting the balls into the gaps.
Charity again, left arm spin round the wicket, and Jones with a slap as much as anything down the ground for 1 more. 83 for 2. Remember, this tournament on the horizon now. World Cup is days away, really. 12th of June, every ball of every game from England's opener against Sri Lanka, and on from there. Reverse sweep attempted, struck beautifully, but well stopped by Deepti Sharma at backward point. Heather Knight would have thought she'd absolutely nailed that, but had it been a yard either side, she would have been celebrating 4 runs. As it was, it's a dot.
Yeah, big game for India. They're opening up against Pakistan, so I'm sure the crowds will be in.
Round arm action from Charity as Knight drops the ball into the onside. 1 taken. This has been a good over from the left arm spinner. Good start, actually. She's bowled 11 deliveries, conceded just 13 runs. I'm excited for the World Cup, aren't you?
Game. Yeah, big game. I think India-Pakistan will be...
Charity to Jones, who will drop the ball into the onside without timing, but she does get enough space to get a single. Moves to 48 of 30 balls. And so halfway stage, drinks are going to be taken, and here comes running onto the field Charlotte Edwards. With a degree of urgency.
She's always going to be in the mix, Lottie.
Well, bearing in mind that apparently during fitness testing at the Southern Vipers, she used to do it on an electric scooter when people were doing their running. I'm sad she hasn't actually adopted that these days. Right, Alison Mitchell's going to take us to the next phase of the innings alongside World Cup winner, the T20 World Cup, the last time it was held in this country in 2009. Ebbs was part of that squad and will be part of our coverage as well as we move forward through the summer. Right then, 10 overs gone, England 85 for 2.
Yeah, Charlotte Edwards, she will be absolutely desperate for this team to do well. You can see she's come in and had an impact. It's almost, I think sometimes you expect magic from coaches, but she's had to try and deal with a number of things, the disconnection with the domestic game, getting her key players firing like the likes of Lauren Belt, choosing a leader in Natsiva Brunt, getting that fitness and the fielding up. So there's been a lot of challenges for Lottie coming in, but this will be her first big test. I feel obviously there have been tests with the 50 over, etc., but a home World Cup, she's had, 18 months, maybe not even that long. No, not even that long, 12 months maybe.
April
12
last
months.
year when she came in. Yeah,
12 months to shape the side. Would you say this World Cup you could genuinely judge her as a coach now?
I think you need to be able to say yes after a year. Yeah, because the last English summer, beaten by India in a T20 series, the response was, well, I haven't really had a chance to put my stamp on the team yet. But then you've had a whole winter, you've had a whole World Cup, you've had another lead-in, albeit not a lot of cricket played. Players are at the WPL, aren't they, in the early part of the year.
They had that big camp in South Africa.
Yeah.
All right, so Ali's
had a
saying
chance to.
all right, Lottie, after this judgment starts.
Well, I think it's suffice to say, I think she's going to have a long run in the job, probably, no matter what happens at this World Cup. But big expectations on a team at home, aren't there? Of course there are, and particularly with what the England rugby and women's football team have done. Can the triumvirate, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Can the treble be done?
Treble, maybe.
Can the treble be done? Are you a fan of musicals, by the way?
Well, I saw yesterday some news.
Cast of Wicked.
I think I've seen
the
it.
Opening game.
But I can't remember it, so I think I need to go again.
I haven't seen it, but I kind of feel like I don't need to now because I'm going to hear a lot of it at the opening game, which is great. 85 for 2 then, halfway stage, 10 overs left for England to get another 104 runs. Jones is on 48 as Deepti Sharma is in. It's a full delivery. She's clipping it along the ground. They're down to Arundhati Field, sends the ball back into Deepti, and a single for Jones, who's looking very composed out there in the middle. Heather Knight 13 from 15, 86 for 2. Sharma moves in, slows this one down, and it's whipped along the ground, vacant region and mid-wicket, out to Rodrigues, who loses her cap as she fields, and the ball's taken on the bounce. The 50 partnership up now between Jones and Knight, so coming together at 37 for 2 when Alice Capsey was out for 6. Sort of a hesitant innings bit from Dunkley. She had one thumped 6 back down the ground, but then out for 16 off 10. Here is Deepti over the wickets, and Jones clips it out towards the deep and to Jemima Rodrigues for the single that brings up her 50. A well-worked 50 off 32 balls for Amy Jones. The 6th time that she's reached 50 in T20 internationals. The last one was at the 2023 T20 World Cup against Pakistan, but here 50 off 32 balls with 7 boundaries.
Yeah, really impressive, isn't it? I think to come in and hit at such a good strike rate when your team's under pressure just shows her skill. Good ball striking.
Knight awaits as Sharma is in, lofts it back down the ground. Well struck shot by Sexter, 2 fielders for 4. Long off and long on, both back. Timed well by Knight, a thump of the gloves between her and Amy Jones.
That's a very Heather Knight shot. She's not going to go for the big slog into the leg side. She's going to really pick that gap, and she's decided to go straight, drill it along the floor, low risk, well, not quite on the floor, maybe just slightly up initially, but straight down the ground.
Sharma spins herself a catch. 4 in the ring on the offside. Here is Sharma with an off spin, quickish off spin, thumped down towards long on this time. In moves Arundhati ready, single taken. England are inching towards edging. Probably not even inching at the moment, millimetering. Can that be a word?
Chipping away.
But they've got a boundary, plus 4 singles this over. Big target, 189, set by India, who made 188 for 7 earlier. Deepti in now. Jones along the ground, rather reaching for, extending her arms. Cross-batted shot out to Rodrigues deep mid-wicket on the boundary. So another single to close out the over. Quite a controlled over, that one, for England with the bat. 94 for 2. But they need a couple more boundaries and over, don't they? The one is not enough when you're needing to go at tens.
Yeah, sometimes you need to like pick a bowler and just think, look, this over we're going to target them. You think of the way Devine goes about her business. She's gone after Eccleston, or there'll just be a couple of overs where they think, let's get ahead of the rate and take them on. So they know now they've got adjusted to the spinner, and if there's a little bit more, maybe they've got the pace. Well, it looks like that India might change it up a little bit, but I do feel that they need to just make that decision. Let's just get ahead, a couple of big overs without losing a wicket, which is the tricky bit.
Well, back to Kranti Gaud from the Graham Gooch end of the ground. So seam coming to Heather Knight here, who drills only as far as extra cover though. Deflection in the field now. Has that hurt the fielders? That's Shefali Verma on the edge of the circle. Single's been taken. She's okay. Looked as if initially she was wringing her hands together as if that one had really hurt, or struck a finger, like caught the end of a finger or something, but she seems okay. Knight on to 19 as Jones faces up on 51. 94 for 2 England. Or set herself as if for the ramp, missed, goes through to the keeper on the offside, but she was eyeing up. There is a fielder at short, fine leg, but quite fine. I think she was aiming to go really between the square leg umpire rather, and finding that gap.
Yeah, you can feel there's just been a shift. We saw Heather Knight starting to get her hands through a few. Jones now trying to play a few funky shots. They know they need a few more boundaries just to stay in the game.
95 needed from 52 as Gaud is in again on the drive, but hasn't timed it up to mid-off. A dot ball, 3 in a row now, so pressure starting to build. 3 in a row. And the Indian fans in the crowd showing their appreciation. You can hear some cries in the distance, giving the India team their support. Now, a bit of a word between bowler and Smriti Mandana there at mid-off, and Kranti Gaud in again. Low full toss, whipped into the leg side along the ground. Jones setting off very quickly for the first. They think about a second, but it's a clean pick-up in the deep by Rodrigues, and you don't take a second to that arm. So she's done well, really sprinted in like a hare off that boundary rope. Keeps England to the single. 95 for 2, 94 needed.
She's like an energizer bunny, isn't she? She's just got so much energy, small pocket, or packet, should I say.
What an innings she played in the World Cup semi-final in the 50-over format. It was astounding, wasn't it? Full into Knight, thumped into the leg side. Rodrigues again, sliding stop, clean pick-up. Of course it is. Knight back for the second, comes in on the bounce, and well, the bowler has thrown the stumps down as Heather Knight crossed the crease. Amy Jones crossed the crease, but she was safe. But again, absolute rocket arm from Rodrigues.
It's been a good over though, isn't it? A bit of pressure here, just 3.
Can England find a release shot? There's only 1 ball left in the over. Can they find the boundary with this one? Gaud is in again. Knight sets herself up for the ramp, but it's through the offside and doesn't get bat on it. Through it goes, low. Full delivery. Well bowled. That's a good over from Kranti Gaud. Just 3 runs coming from it. So England will start to feel the pressure even more. 92 needed off 48 at 97 for 2 after 12. And that's at target 189.
They're very impressive there. She's quite giddy, isn't she, Gaud? And that last one, sometimes when you're looking to try and hit through, you want a little bit of bounce, something to work with, almost hit up and through. And then she just kind of beats the bat because she's coming at you quite fast. So a nice skiddy little over there, very effective. And we might be looking back. This game gets too tight and thinking that is a brilliant over going for 3.
Yeah, and of course you can look at that target of 189 and think, well, what if you take 30 runs off that with the
27
over that went for 27? Well, yeah, chasing 160 instead of 189 is a huge difference, isn't it? Jones on 52. Arundhati Reddy back for a third over. 52 off 37 for Jones. Outside the off stump, hasn't timed it. It's a dot ball. Fielded comfortably inside the ring by Smriti Mandana. She is standing in as captain tonight for Harmanpreet Kaur. For those tuning in and wondering why we haven't mentioned Harmanpreet's name, she's being rested for this first match.
They put her through her paces on the outfield though. I saw her doing the sprints.
Oh, but what, during the interval?
Yeah, during the interval she was charging up and down. So Making sure they keep her. I think there's nothing worse than that. You're not playing and you have to do all the sprints.
Jones holds her back high. Reddy is in full toss, reaching for it. Out to the leg side. Yeah, Rodriguez is everywhere. She's down here at long on now. Keeps them to a single. Sprinting in again. Clean pick-up. Kind of an iconic image, wasn't it, after that World Cup, the semi-final innings, and she ended up with just dirt all the way down the front of her shirt because she'd been doing the dives. I think she did actually get a deal with a washing powder after that. Reddy moves in. Slower ball. Heather Knight is foxed, beaten. Couldn't lay bat on it. Keeper standing up. A bit of a fumble in the tape, but Reddy is varying her deliveries here, and it's tying England down at the moment. Pressure building all the time. The crowd is being kept quiet here at Chelmsford, which was such a fortress for England for so many years. That run, didn't they, being unbeaten, but that run stands of having won 12 of 14 T20 internationals now. Reddy in again, full, stroked out, but only as far as Deepti Sharma at backward point. Another dot, builds up. 91 needed. England at the moment not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're bowling well as a collective, aren't they? The fast bowlers, you're getting 3 scored off the last over, just 1 so far here. They're backing each other up and bowling consistently, and here they haven't offered too much width, so Heather Knight's having to try and manufacture the angles.
Reddy moves in for the 5th ball of the over. Worked down to long on. Up comes Rodriguez again. Another single taken. England cannot find that boundary shot. Certainly not clearing the ropes for sixes. They need some form of big acceleration.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the way that India batted, they moved so much more around the crease to create opportunities and angles. Heather Knight looks a little bit rooted.
Reddy's in again. Thumped down the ground, along the ground by Jones. Rodriguez fields cleanly once more. And it's another single. Well, that's a really good over. A couple of tight overs now bowled. Disciplined from India. Just 3 singles coming from it. The 100 is up for England, but it's in the 13th over, and they need 89 from 42 from here. Knight on 22 from 23, Jones 54 from 40. Is this a partnership that you can see exploding, or is this one of these circumstances where should a wicket fall, could your sort of Freya Kemp, Danny Gibsons coming in next actually help the situation?
I think they either need to do 2 things. Move around the crease, because there you could see, for example, set a ring field. So Heather Knight's game might have to be stepping slightly to the leg to pierce that and chipping up and over. Doesn't need power. If you're not going to move around the crease, you need someone with some guns to come in. Amy Jones has got that naturally. Heather Knight can, but she's going to have to...
Straight Charney again around the wicket with her left arm spin. It's along the ground once more from from Jones. It will again only be 1.
You can see, like, most of the shots have been nicely down the ground, right?
Classical looking shots always, aren't they?
Yeah,
shots,
but right now you either need to clear that front leg or move around the crease to get those boundary angles. So they're pinning them down.
Around the wicket, use of the feet, and here is the aerial shot from Knight, but it could be outfielder on the boundary, and the catch is taken. It's Jemima Rodriguez. She's been everywhere in the field. She's not made a mistake. She's taken the catch, and Heather Knight is gone. So 101 for 3 now, needing 88 from 41. Knight on her way, 22 from 24. She was trying to force it.
She was. This is a cruel game, isn't it? She was doing exactly what she knew she needed to. She needed to open up some angles here. And it's a little bit tough with the left armour coming around. You know, you really have to try and make everything work. She got it in the arc, but she just didn't quite have that power, and the best fielder for India is out there. It's tough, you know, you've got to either clear the ropes or get it left or right, and it's such fine margins. So a nice innings, but just almost too nice to run a ball. It needed to be like Amy Jones, maybe, or
something explosive.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we will see that from Freya Kemp. She is a boundary clearer.
She's a striker, isn't she?
If she's able to.
And the left
hand.
hand.
To tie her down. Yeah, left hand will bring something different.
Which England haven't had for a long time.
Yeah. But was that the right moment to go for that boundary shot, knowing it was Rodriguez?
I think she had to go. And the challenge there is maybe if she had a bit more power or just angled it slightly. I think she had to go at some point, you know. They keep moving Rodriguez anyway,
yeah. Well, they do, and the ball is following around like a magnet. So Freya Kemp, left-hander, facing up to Shrey Charani. Over the wicket here to the left-hander, skewing away off the outer edge to Rodriguez, who's up inside the circle here at cover, omnipresent.
Yeah, the same strategy here. Very tight on the offside with the fielders.
Being so disciplined, India. 88 needed from 39 balls for England. Charani is in. Kemp looking to go back and drops into the offside. Now the bowler fields and then feigns to throw down the stumps at the non-striker's end. Has Jones scuttling back to make sure she's behind the crease. Very quick in her follow through as the bowler to make sure there was not a single there. So Kemp waiting to get off the mark here, facing up to a third ball from Shrey Charani. Left arm spinner over she goes. Kemp works it down along the ground to long on, off the mark with a single. Charani takes the ball over the stumps. 101 for 3. So Heather Knight 22 from 24. That was after Dunkley made 16 from 10. A sort of uncertain feel to her innings, and Alice Capsey offered a catch at the edge of the circle as well, was out for just 6. So 37 for 2 at that stage. Charani in, and Jones again along the ground. Too wide-ish, long on. Freya Kemp looking interested in a second, but it just isn't there. Well, wicket taking over. The pressure piling on England now. 86 needed from 36. They've had 14 overs. They're 103 for 3.
You just think a little bit about some of the other teams in the World Cup, and you're thinking of a Grace Harris coming in, or some of the big strikers that England have. And I just looked at Heather Knight there. Her role, I think she needs to be in earlier. Just maybe end of power play, get things moving. But if you're under this pressure, you're going to need someone who can really strike a big ball. I'm thinking about some of the other, well, even looking at India today, some of the big blows that they're capable of in that middle phase. It's good when you're under pressure to hold things together, but you also need that release. So that'll be a learning that they'll have to take into the next couple of games.
Where is the muscle when you really need to be accelerating?
The gun show.
Yeah. 103 for 3. Deep tee continuing, drilled along the ground. Well, that's one way to find the boundary. That is a classical looking cover drive by Amy Jones. Sometimes you don't have to go lofted. She pierced the infield beautifully. But they could do with some sixes.
Yeah,
not to be
really
greedy.
Yeah, Ali's like more. No, really nice shot. What I like though, she's moved her feet here. She's created that opportunity. Could have gone large, but no, I get your point. They most really could do with a few just to get up to the rate. But that was nice, very nice.
Yeah, field up on the offside. Knew exactly where she wanted to place it. 60 from 43 for Amy Jones. But England need 82 from 35, and Deepti Sharma moves in again over the wicket. Oh, lofted beautifully behind square this time. 4 more. So this is much better from England and from Amy Jones. Clean connections, picking her spots, well executed. Back-to-back boundaries, 111 for 3, 78 needed from 34.
And you get boundary off the first ball, it just starts to throw pressure on the bowler. She then drifts and ends up chucking one a little bit leg side, which you can capitalise on. So sometimes you've got to put the pressure on the bowler, and Amy Jones is doing that in this over.
Yeah, she was nice and low, didn't she, to swing that around the corner. Beating the fielder there on the circle at short fine leg. Sharma in again now, a little bit more loop this one. Low sweep well in front of square. Jemima Rodriguez is there though on the cover boundary, able to sweep up and keeps Jones to the single. 77 needed from 33. Changes in the field here for the left-hander for Freya Kemp. So point is up on the ring now. Short third. What are they doing on the leg side here? Mandana is still directing traffic, keeping a backward square inside the ring, a mid-wicket inside the ring, in catching position, and then you've got deep mid-wicket, long off, long on the fence. Over the wickets, and Freya Kemp makes some room to side that out along the ground to Rodriguez at deep cover, who moves in off the boundary, and she picks up 1. 2 boundaries, 2 singles.
What's the run rate needed here? So 76 off 32.
Well, need to be going at a sevens. Oh, hang on, no, 14 and over.
14, okay.
So we're doubling that, yeah.
We're really getting the gun show going.
Exactly. It's going the wrong way away from England quickly at the moment. It's only going to be another single here. Rodriguez again, fields cleanly at deep mid-wicket. Well, 2 boundaries conceded, but yeah, India know if they can just keep England to the singles. They need some massive explosion in and over at some point. You don't feel as if it's coming. And if it does, it could be too little too late. Kemp facing up. Last ball of the over here from Deepti Sharma. Over the wicket she goes. Kemp makes some room across to the offside, steps right in front of the wicket keeper. But it's again only a single stroked out along the ground to deep cover where Rodrigues is fielding. So end of the over. 2 boundaries and 4 singles. 12 coming from it, but 74 needed off 30. It's 115 for 3. Jones on 66. Kemp on 3. Henry Moran is poised to come in. Ebony, so a little bit more from you, and then you'll be joined by Henry.
Yeah, that was a smart bit of bowling there from Deepti Sharma. You could see Freya Kemp was eyeing up that leg side. She'd moved all the way across, and Deepti Sharma just floated it across that wide on the off stump. So a bit of cat and mouse taking place. What have you made of it, Al?
Yeah, look, I think England are lacking that firepower, aren't they, throughout the middle. Heather Knight obviously going a runner ball or less than a runner ball has added pressure onto Amy Jones, therefore she slowed down, trying to absolutely wallop every ball to the boundary. The lack of boundaries have meant England have fallen behind this game.
Sharma with the keeper up to the stumps, and that's nicely driven towards backward point by Freya Kemp. A fumble will allow Jones on to strike, but a little bit of a worrying trend for Heather Knight this summer. Her strike rate has just once surpassed 100 across 6 innings.
Which, when you look at her form in the domestic comp leading into this, she was striking the ball so nicely. She was scoring loads and loads of runs. It is a little bit of a concern.
I mean, there's a 19 off 30, 28 off 42. Sorry, twice, but only just sort of in excess. 18 off 22, 21 off 24 today.
You think of where she was a year ago. She was striking the ball so cleanly, so well.
She was opening up sort of straight and into that mid-wicket pocket for the big boundaries.
Jones on 66 as she hits it back past the bowler and almost onto the stumps via the hands of Sharma. Jones will get one more to move to 67. England require 72 from 28. It's not impossible, but it is getting into the sort of territory where it's going to be a real challenge.
I don't think it'll have ever been done before in women's cricket, will it?
No.
What's that? This chase?
Yeah, 72 off 28.
Yeah, I mean, that's proper. That needs an over of 27 or something.
Well, it does, and let's not forget there was one in England's innings, and that rather could be a very significant element as to where this game goes. Oh my goodness me, it's a bumper which has been reached by Freya Kemp for something a little like we're seeing at Roland Garros this week. It was an overarm smash, and they get back for at least a couple, and it is just the 2. Freya Kemp is tall, and she needed to be to get hold of that. Played it well above the head.
It was good contact. I wonder if she could have played it up.
Got a bit of spin on it.
Rather than down, yeah. Got it for 6.
I like the way the floodlights here have got the blue and the red lights beaming up. Have you noticed that?
Oh, I never noticed that at all.
Yeah, they've
kind
got
of like a nightclub.
Yeah, a little bit. Here comes Sharma around the wicket to bowl to the left-handed Kemp, who's not timing that into the leg side. And probably it'll be just a single. Yeah, they think of a second that's not there. And good work in the field again from India, who are an impressive unit. Jemima Rodrigues, very much the team leader, if you like, in that regard. As England needs 69 from 26. And I tell you what, Al, those floodlights with those team colour lights on the base of them shining up to sort of illuminate the base of the floodlights, don't half make the Alex Hartley floodlight look a bit substandard.
I was just thinking, I'm really going to have to jazz mine up a bit, aren't I? Now I'm vice president.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Jones hard into the leg side. She could be out here. Fielder running round. And Shafali Verma takes the catch. Amy Jones, who's felt the onus of responsibility to try and make something happen for much of this innings. Well, she targets the longest part of the ground at deep mid-wicket and picks out the hands of the India opener, who runs with arms outstretched to celebrate. And it's a wicket for Sharma, and you sense probably the game for India.
Well, there was a time where you wouldn't have backed Shafali Verma to take that catch, but she's come on leaps and bounds over the last 4 or 5 years, been in and out of the side. She's obviously grown up. She was just a young pup when she first came on the scene. But it was a simple catch, that one, and you can sort of understand why Amy Jones has played the shot, to be honest. She has to score runs. Every ball's got to go for 6. She's got to try and hit every ball for 6. Just doesn't connect in the way she would have liked. It's the longer boundary. Could she have gone straight back down the ground towards one of the shorter boundaries? It's a question she'll be asking herself, but it was a brilliant disguised back of the hand delivery from Sharma.
And most grounds that goes for 6, but it's such a big boundary out there at deep mid wicket. And as we see Danny Gibson come to the middle, it's England's 2 sort of, in the absence of Nat Sivabrunt, premier all-rounders. And Gibson immediately sends the ball a mile in the air. And underneath it, once again, the safe hands of Shafali Verma. 2 in 2. And Danny Gibson gets a first ball back.
But I have to say, Shafali Verma's done good there because she didn't quite get to it, and then last minute has just plucked it out of the bag. And under the lights as well, that wouldn't have been easy. But she's done well today. She's absolutely been pounding around at that sort of deep mid-wicket area. Her and Jemima Rodriguez have changed the game. But it's that back of the hand again, isn't it? It's hard to really clearly pick up at the moment, and they're trying to get some power behind it, but just that pace off getting in the way. She's plucked that. She's done well. She wasn't quite in position, but pulled it out of the bag at the end of the catch.
That's a good catch running in, because as you say, dropping in from under the lights, that's a decent catch.
Yeah. It was that slow ball again that's done Danny Gibson, like Ebbs just said. So Gibson, they're looking to go down the ground, but because it's slower, she's ended up dragging it, which is why it's gone so high. And Shafali Verma's almost had to run to, if long on and deep mid wicket were to meet in the middle. That's where she's had to sort of go in the V. Sort of going, I'm there.
I'm there. They're looking pretty clinical at the moment, India. I have to give them credit, after that first couple of wickets.
So on debut, 2 wickets and 2 balls for Nandini Sharma. Here is Deepti Sharma bowling to Freya Kemp, who's, to me, looks like she's been trying to overhit it almost at times tonight. 121 for 5 with a single down the ground. England needs 68 from 23. Charlie Dean to the middle.
The skipper, smart batter, isn't she? She'll look for angles. She's, can get her hands through the ball.
She's not a power hitter though, is she?
She's not she's not Grace Harris.
She's not getting 70 off 15 balls. Or 68 off 23 actually.
No. Easier than you said. She's not playing like that. The reverse sweep attempted, it comes off the pads and drops into the hands of the keeper.
Yeah, she's just thinking field up on the offside. Can I pierce it somehow? But that was a bit too full to get her hands underneath.
Here comes Deepti Sharma once again. Pace taken off at this time. That's well struck by Charlie Dean. Out towards wide long on. And again, good work in the field from India as it's Arundhati Reddy running below us in front of that double-tiered stand. And preventing the boundary, and the score is magnificently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You couldn't wait.
Oh,
couldn't wait.
I'm so pleased.
Do you know what I would have liked to have seen instead of Charlie Dean?
More poetry from you.
That was good. That actually, that was an accident.
Here comes Deepti Sharma. I'm with you. And this is smacked hard into the leg side. Picks out Rodriguez. And again, I mean, that's what you're going to get from Charlie Dean. She's going to hit it cleanly, but she's not going to threaten the ropes quite in the same way that some of the... I mean, even Sophie Eccleston is a little cameo.
I love this though, because Ebbs doesn't agree, and this is why cricket is so great. I just think Wongi can just hit sixes.
Yeah.
I'm giving you nothing, mate. I like your thinking, however.
Oh, that could be out. Yeah, there's an edge. Freya Kemp has been caught by the keeper. She knew. Anna Harris raises the finger. England falling in a bit of a heap here as they chase the further 65 runs required. Now just 19 balls left. And England 124 for 6. Kemp out 8 from 10.
I'll tell you what it's making me think, though, the big picture of the next month or so is that you can see the need for Nat Sivabrunt and Danny White-Hodge to be in this side, because it bumps up that firepower. You know, if Nat's coming in 3, 4, whatever, she's going to hold that middle phase together. Danny White-Hodge can maybe give you that start, and then that takes away. So then you have your Freya Kemps and your Gibsons to work with. But the minute they're out, you can see there's that weakness. And so look, Danny White-Hodge, she'll be fit. She's fine. She's mama's back. Mama's new mama is, sorry, just in case you don't know, she just had a little one. Well, she didn't have it, but her partner had it. So she's back, so she'll be fine. Nat Sivabrunt for the big games towards the end of the group stages. Maybe not early on because they got a nice run, but she needs to be back, I think.
I totally agree with you, Ebbs.
Oh, you agree with me?
Dixie Sharma to conclude the over, and immediately this is smacked away for 4 by Izzy Wong. There you go.
How'd you like them apples, Ebbs?
Out over wide, long on. And that was a one-bounce 4 that was hit mercilessly by Izzy Wong, who's had one of the more eccentric evenings of her cricketing career. 27 runs coming from her first over. Takes a stunning catch, bowls an absolute beautiful back-of-the-hand slower ball, and has now hit her first ball almost for 6 over wide, long on. And so, whatever next? Well,
have your moment, Alex.
Yeah, go on now. Come
Well,
on.
it's just what she does, isn't it, Ebbs?
Oh.
You know, she comes out, she's fearless. I also think she can't win the game for England here, so she's got to go out and hit every ball for 6 or 4. But I think it's something that I love about her game is that she doesn't care if she gets out, and she will just try and hit every ball to the boundary.
Hat-trick ball. 2 wickets to conclude Nandini Sharma's third over, and the debutant on a hat-trick.
Well, she did it in the WPL, which got her name in lights. That 5-wicket haul. Can she do it again? I mean, that would set this tone for her again, wouldn't it? How incredible.
Back of the hand slowy again, surely.
Yeah, why not?
Surely. Here she comes now from the far end of the ground. And Charlie Dean just drops it into the onside for a single to get Izzy Wong on strike. I think that's a good call, with England needing 60 to win from 17 balls.
This could look really pretty or really ugly from Izzy Wong. If she doesn't quite pick the back of the hand slow ball, she could be through the shot and nearly hitting the wicket keeper with her follow through.
She either needs a chiropractic treatment after this because she's thrown her back out, or she'll hit it out the stands.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where you sense, you know, the approach,
but we don't know the outcome.
Yeah. It's quite exciting one way or another. Here comes Sharma to bowl to Wong with the keeper up to the stumps. It's banged in short, and that's the one thing I wasn't expecting, was a big swing and a dot ball. That's good keeping from Rishi Ghosh, though, right in front of the grill. Dot ball. England needs 60 off 16. They're going to lose this game.
It's quite the anticlimax, that really, wasn't it?
Well, it was a bit, but we've now got another opportunity. That's a joy of cricket. As at the far end of the ground, Sharma is bowled light. Someone who's much more experienced in international cricket than she is.
Oh.
Wong is bowled. Well, you called it out, the back of the hand slower ball, and it was an enormous heave from Izzy Wong. And off stump is rearranged, much to the joy and jubilation of the India side and their supporters around the ground, as England fall to 129 for 7. Wong goes 4 from 3.
But what is clear is her slower balls are working, and she's keeping this stump line as well, so it's forcing them to either have to drag it into that leg side, or if you miss, it's taking your off or middle stump. She's bowling nicely. You can see why they brought her in. You know, she's come in. This is her first opportunity in this format, in this country, on debut, and she's really delivering. So fair play to her.
She's not got it wrong once, has she, that back of the hand slower ball? And I think what's really impressed me is I don't know if she's doing it on purpose, but the angle of the delivery is different every time. She's either got a lower arm or she changes the trajectory of her arm. Bowled very, very nicely today.
I thought their seamers as a unit have bowled nicely. You know, there was a period in the middle where they went for 5 off 3 overs. It was 3 or 2 from Reddy, etc. And you just kind of go, as a collective, they've backed each other up. Well, here's another one who can swing a big bat.
Sophie Eccleston, 60 needed off 15 balls, so everything has to go to the boundary, or a couple of sixes. Eccleston hits that away, and that will be 4 runs, and she plays that nicely behind square on the offside, up on her toes and cracking it away. Short and wide, got the treatment, 133 for 7.
What was it, that West Indies game where she hit like 5 boundaries? This was a few years ago, 4 years ago or something.
At Derby, wasn't it?
Derby, yeah, that was it, and she smoked it. She's got long levers, hasn't she?
I always feel like she should or could be England's number 6.
You think?
In T20 cricket, yeah. I just think like that talent is there, and that ability to strike the ball is so cleanly.
she can, as a cricketer, I sense, become a proper all-rounder. She can sort of get on with it, though. Oh, dear. That's an alarming delivery, but it's not been given as wide. I'm not quite sure how. Surely.
That's wide, isn't it?
One for the over, says the umpire. I mean, that, to me, was well over the head on the bounce. Let's have a look at that again.
Can you not review wides in this game?
Oh, you can in the IPL.
Yeah.
Which sometimes means...
It went over her back shoulder, so surely that's down the leg side.
Problem with reviewing the wides is that teams often just do it on the off chance they've got a few left at the back end of the innings. It takes forever. 133 for 7. England need 56 off 13 balls. Driven down the ground by Eccleston for 1. Gets Charlie Dean at the non-strikers end for the penultimate over of the innings. Umpire Ian Blackwell, who...
I didn't recognise him.
Well, why?
He's changed. He's got fitter.
134 for 7. 55 needed from 12 balls. Sri Charani's going to bowl.
One of my favourite bowlers.
Why?
Left arm spinner, isn't it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Once you're in the left arm.
If that's it, tick. You're in the queue.
Well, one highlight from tonight, Tilly Courtine-Coleman on debut bowled really nice.
No, I actually love the way she bowls, and she keeps things so simple, but she turns the ball as well.
Round the wicket. And Eccleston clears the infield with a reverse shoveling, sweeping kind of number that goes down towards deep third for a boundary. And look, she's got power. She's got a great eye, Sophie Eccleston.
So what are we looking at with this side? When Nat comes back, Danny comes back.
So
out of the openers, where are you going?
My question is, when Wyatt Hodge comes back and Nat Sciver-Brunt comes back, can you play Heather Knight and Sophia Dunkley?
Charity to bowl to Eccleston, gets a full delivery onto the toes, and she'll hustle quickly for that first run, runs it fast, turns for the second. That's good running, throw comes in, and Eccleston's done very well there. 140 for 7. The target is 189, 49 needed from 10.
You've made an assumption there, so Capsey is your opener with Wyatt Hodge.
Yes.
Which I'm backing you on that.
Yeah.
The way she smoked that 70, I think.
Yeah.
She's looking fitter, she's looking stronger. Okay, so we've got both agree. Capsey, Wyatt Hodge to open. Nat.
Charity bowls, and smack back over the bowler's head, but there is a fielder at wide, long off. And Crampty Gow will run to her right to pick up. England need 48 from 9.
So that's no Dunkley.
So then you can have Heather at 4, and then you can have your 2 all-rounders, or you only play one of those all-rounders being Kemp or Gibson, and you can play all 4 of those at the top.
Do they have enough bowling if Sciver-Brunt can't bowl? They most probably need Gibson, who can offer you both. Freya offers you the left-hander.
Charity bowls, and coming forward to meet it is Charlie Dean. Gets it crisply enough towards extra cover, but straight to the hands of Smriti Mandara.
So you're thinking you've got Bell, Wong/Filer. So there's 8 overs. You've got Eccleston. Dean.
Next delivery is a low full toss, which is well stopped by the bowler, and there'll be no run. Gibson.
You're all round. It's got to be Gibson.
If Gibson's playing alongside Kemp,
You've got options.
That's enough bowling, isn't it?
Yeah. Or you've got Nat if Nat can bowl.
So then who's being... So basically either Dunkley or Knight has to go, right?
Or one of your all-rounders. Which I don't think Charlotte Edwards will want to do. I think she's a huge all-rounder fan, and I think having that left-hander as well
is massive.
Charity to bowl to Charlie Dean, the England captain, as the ball comes off the toe end of the bat, and a la something you might see at the Crucible, it's potted towards the corner, if you see what I mean. It was a sort of snooker shot. 47 needed off 6 balls, 1 taken there. Then Charity finishes 4 overs, 1 for 25.
What do you say, Henry, then? We've both been chanting our opinions out. Are you opening with Capsey and Wyatt Hodge? Or
yes, I think I probably am. I think the focus on all-rounders, Charlotte Edwards has seen the Australian model and thought this is the way we've got to go. And also, if somebody starts having a horrible night with the ball, where do you turn if you haven't got that backup option? I also think they're going to be quite adaptable horses for courses wise. Tonight, you know, you've gone in with Dean, Eccleston, Courtine, Coleman as your spin options.
Also no Lindsay Smith today, obviously.
No Lindsay Smith. So there's lots of ways they could go. I mean, they've got good problems to have, you see what I mean. Arundhati ready to bowl the final over of this game, with England requiring a mathematically impossible 46 now off 5. I mean, it's not if there was no balls and wise, but you know what I mean.
There's a massive part of me that thinks England needs Heather Knight and her experience, everything that she brings to the team. But you need her striking better. You need her striking at 120, not 90.
Well, she's a floater, so you go a couple of wickets down, she's in.
Yeah.
If you're ahead of the game, send another hitter in.
Yeah.
Arundhati ready, right arm over. Eccleston drives down the ground for 1. She moves to 13 off 7, 45 needed off 4, which won't happen.
The other thing was, it'd be interesting to look at the stats, but her and Nat Sivabrunt as a combo seem to always build big partnerships together. And, you know, obviously Nat Sivabrunt's not here today, but those two as a unit work together. But I think if Heather can play that, which she's got that skill to, you know, she can adapt.
Ready running in, and that's nicely flipped towards. Oh dear, there's going to be a run out. It was flipped towards short. Fine, and Sophie Eccleston was alongside Charlie Dean at the striker's end when the ball went to the hands of the bowler. And Charlie said, "Hello, Soph. Nice to see you here, but
should have run really.
Why are you here?" And Sophie Eccleston takes off her gloves, and they will just check this in the way that cricket does to see if the batter's crossed.
We have an umpire review for who is run out there, please.
Well, I think Eccleston's made the right call saying, yeah, 1.
There's nothing worse than that. You're looking at your mate
Charlie
thinking,
Dean.
come on.
Anna Charlie Dean is in. I've made my decision. Where do I go now?
James Middlebrook there.
Where do I go now?
I mean, we've all been there in life, James, don't worry. Eccleston's out, 13 off 7. Played very nicely, it has to be said. But England, another wicket down, and that was a pretty farcical one, that.
It happens, doesn't it? Eccleston wants to be on strike, and I think that's the right call. And Charlie Dean kind of knew it. She was like, oops, I messed up there.
You got to run. Look, your final over. You need to get some runs on the board somewhere. You got to move.
3 balls left. Coming forward to meet it, Charlie Dean hits it very nicely indeed, out over wide, long on, and gets 4 runs on the bounce. And that will take England to 148 for 8. They are chasing 189, and there's only 2 balls left. So they're currently 41 runs shy as Dean moves to 10.
It's a big gap, this, isn't it? It's a big gap. I know Lotte keeps talking about being able to chase 180, 200, and it's a game that can twist and turn, but they do want to be closing that. 10 runs here or there maybe, but 40 feels a bit too much.
And Dati ready, bowls to Charlie Dean, who gets it right off the toes and clips into the onside. There's probably just going to be a single. Yastika Bhatia picks up behind square on the leg side as supporters begin to drift out at Chelmsford. Final ball, 40 needed.
Amy Jones got a 32 ball 50, but ended up on what, Henry, you write it down, 69 off, no, this side 67 off 48, so she slowed down as well. So that partnership with Heather Knight, India really got hold of England.
Met on the full by Lauren Bell, who started this game with a wicket. First ball, she's going to end it with a single. And as the throw comes in, they are going to appeal a run out, oddly. But we'll have a little look at it. Either way, India, they're not overly celebrating here. There's a few handshakes.
TV umpire to director. We have a run out at the striker's end. You got a side on angle, please.
Either way, India have won. Here we go. Oh, it was a little bit lax from Charlie Dean,
That's
but she's
grounded.
home. Yeah, she's home.
Thank you. I've made my decision.
But James, where do we go now?
India win.
India win. 150 for 8, England conclude on. And so India, it is, as you say, Ebony, it's a comprehensive win. It's a big margin, that, 38 runs. What do we think at the end of all that, then? Alex Hartley, first of all.
Oh, look, it won't do England any what's the right word, disfavours. You know, it's not going to harm them leading into the World Cup. I actually think if anything, it will help. It'll know that England will be able to reflect and look back on where did we lose power, where did we lose that game, could we have been a bit tighter in the field, could we have bowled ever so slightly better? I think yes and yes. Did we need to hit more boundaries? Absolutely yes. So it looks bad, the 38-run loss, and it is. You know, I think I'm with Ebbs, it should have been a lot tighter, and England are better than that. When you bring back Danny Wyatt-Hodge, Nat Siver-Brunt, it does change the game, but then we're all going to be looking at Danny Wyatt-Hodge in a couple of days' time going, come on then, you've been out because you've popped a sprog, now it's your time to shine. It's a bit like when Devine comes back for New Zealand, everybody looks at her, everybody will be looking at her, but yeah, look, it's a heavy defeat, and India have shown their class and they've shown their strength and depth, but the difference is that India are able to clear the boundaries even still at number 7, number 8, and we feel like we can't.
3 areas for me, Henry. I think obviously the 27 over, and that is an anomaly, so you can improve that.
I should point out 2 extras in England's innings, 20 in India's.
Yeah.
There you go. So look, I think that can be improved, and that is an anomaly that you can work out, whether it's the bowler finding rhythm, etc. I felt the fielding was a bit shakier than you'd hope. There was a few misfields, misstumping, drop catch, so tighten that up. And I think that middle phase where England slowed down and allowed them to bowl dots, there was no movement around the crease. They allowed them to bowl at them. So those are all improvable. That's good news for England. It's just they're going to need to tighten it up in the next few games.
Well, we're getting a light show from those floodlights, Al, so you really are going to have to up the game at your floodlight at Old Trafford. So India win by 38 runs, and it is their second heaviest victory over England. And actually 3 of the top 4 have come in the space of the last 12 months, which tells you a couple of things. One, that the game is moving forward in terms of how big sides can go, but also how good India could be in this tournament. And they played very professionally and looked a really good unit. Even though they lost wickets early, Mandan are out first ball, Shafali Verma for just 2, but a big partnership between Yastika Bhatia and Jemima Rodriguez, who top scored in the match for 69. And in the end, 189 was too big a target for England, with Sophia Dunkley making 16, Capsey 6, Jones 67, Knight 22, but off 24 balls. And in fact, all of England's middle order failed to go at a run rate beyond, or managing to push forward with a strike rate, I should say, beyond 100. So that is a bit of a concern. Izzy Wong made 4 off 3, Sophie Eccleston 13 off 7. And at the end of all that, India win pretty comprehensively, 38 runs. So, Ebony, final thoughts from you at the end of all that?
England just need to be sharper, but the good news is I think they have time to improve between here, the warm-up games, with the players coming back, tighten up on those 3 areas that we talked about, and they'll be in the mix.
Indeed. Alex?
Everything Ebony just said.
No, come on, you can offer us more than that.
No, we've just debriefed. I genuinely think that's it. I think they'll go back, they'll reflect, and those 3 areas are exactly where they can. I think you take away Izzy Wong's over, like we've said, and it's a slightly different game.
Yeah.